He arrived here in the city of Barcelona, and yesterday he got to watch Barca's 3-0 win over Levante from his hotel nearby before coming to the stadium after the game for a brief photo session and answer a few short questions. But today we have a full slate of events lined up here at Camp Nou, which we will be bringing you live in English and in Spanish on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Barça Video through our official webpage, fcbarcelona.com. I'm Mike Toll, along with my colleague Jordi Abel. Big day, gran día, right, Jordi?
Buenos días, Mike. Buenas tardes, aficionados del Fútbol Club Barcelona de todo el mundo. Desde ahora estamos en directo con todos vosotros para seguir la presentación del último fichaje del Fútbol Club Barcelona de Philippe Coutinho. Nos estáis siguiendo a través de nuestra página web oficial, de nuestro canal de YouTube y, por supuesto, de nuestra página de Facebook Live, donde podéis hacer vuestros comentarios, preguntas y expresar vuestras sensaciones sobre este fichaje del FC Barcelona, Philippe Coutinho, jugador brasileño que desde hoy será nuevo compañero de los jugadores del FC Barcelona. Estaremos con Mike casi 3 horas hasta que acabe todo el acto de presentación. Ahora repasamos la agenda, si os parece.
Well, this is an absolutely huge day, Jordi. Thanks a lot. We were just a few minutes ago outside the stadium, and the people are already lining up in droves to get into the stadium to see him and his official unveiling here. He'll be down on the field at Camp Nou in a little bit. Right now, it's 12:35 p.m. Central European time. We know that there are people that are up very, very early in some parts of the world and other people that are up very, very late. Coutinho is in the process of arriving at the stadium right now, and when he does arrive, he'll be appearing with FC Barcelona's president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, here in the stadium. He will say hello to everybody. And just a couple minutes after that, he will officially put pen to paper to sign that new deal, which, in case you are not aware, is for the rest of this season, plus 5 more. He'll be in the Blaugrana kit until June of 2023. The buyout clause has been set at 400 million euros, and the 33rd Brazilian player in Barca history will have some pictures taken down in the stadium and then down on the grass. You can see images right now of people lined up outside the stadium to get a glimpse of the newest player. He's a superstar, and we welcome here with open arms.
Mucha gente, como veis, en la explanada del Camp Nou. Imágenes ahora mismo del aspecto del estadio del FC Barcelona, un acto abierto al público para el cual, como veis, muchos aficionados ya esperando para poder entrar aquí al Camp Nou para seguir en directo el acto de presentación. Repasaba Mike la agenda rápidamente a las 12:30. Firma con Josep Maria Bartomeu, presidente del club, con Jordi Mestre, con Javier Bordas. Y saludo a los medios de comunicación. A la 1 menos cuarto, fotografía oficial. Perdona, Mike. No. A la 1, traslado a la Sala Roma, donde habrá un pequeño discurso y Coutinho posará con la camiseta. A la 1:15, horas españolas, siempre hablamos, el jugador visitará ya el vestuario del primer equipo. A las 2 menos cuarto, hora española, saltará al terreno de juego, uno de los momentos más esperados para tocar ya balón. Y sobre las 14:30, hora española, habrá la rueda de prensa oficial donde Philippe Coutinho responderá a las preguntas de los medios de comunicación.
Right, we've got a lot going on. As we said, it's only about 12:30 p.m. Central European time. We're expected to be here for probably about 2.5 hours. Make sure you stay tuned throughout this special broadcast. It's going to be in English and in Spanish. We're going to be going back and forth and talking about the different aspects of this signing, including the different acts that we're going to be going through today. Of course, he's going to appear with club president Josep Maria Bartomeu, as we said, and 2 other members of the board of directors, Jordi Mestre, the sporting vice president, and Mr. Javier Bordas, another board member and one of the heads of the first team. He'll sign his contract, which we said was for 5 years. He'll have his picture taken. He's going to put on the Barca shirt. There will be an opportunity for both Coutinho and President Bartomeu to speak here inside the stadium when he gets the shirt. There will be photo sessions. The journalists will not stop taking pictures throughout this entire day. They'll be everywhere, so they'll be appearing on your screen pretty much at all times. He will be down in the dressing room, the first team dressing room. He'll probably have a chance to have some more pictures taken down there after he's in the Barca dressing room. We're talking about a half an hour from now, 45 minutes from now. Then he'll head out to the field for the traditional unveiling on the field, where he'll probably pick up a couple balls. He'll juggle the ball for a couple minutes. He'll take some pictures with the Barca uniform on. And then he'll probably maybe kick some balls up into the stands. We'll have to see how far he goes through with all of that. And then at the end of everything, at 2:30 p.m. Central European Time, just under 2 hours from now, he'll be appearing at a press conference here at the stadium as well, and we'll be bringing all of that to you live in English and in Spanish. So make sure you stay tuned, and if you hear either one of the other languages, don't feel that you need to head off into different content on another one of our platforms.
Estamos viendo una imagen ahora al responsable del Museo del Fútbol Club Barcelona, el señor Jordi Penas. Ayer Coutinho, lo podéis ver en nuestros canales de YouTube, en nuestro web oficial. Coutinho ya hizo una visita en el Museo del Barça. También pasó por la tienda oficial. Podéis ver ese contenido si queréis en, como digo, en nuestros canales de YouTube, en nuestra web oficial, en nuestras redes sociales. Repasamos algunos datos que ya ha dado Mike sobre el fichaje de Coutinho. Ficha por lo que queda de temporada y 5 más, es decir, hasta el mes de junio del año 2023. Tendrá una cláusula de rescisión. Aquí veis las imágenes a las que me refería. Coutinho ya haciendo el tour, el Camp Nou Experience, el tour por el Museo del Fútbol Club Barcelona. Y viendo imágenes de algunos de los mitos del club. Con algunos de ellos tendrá la ocasión de jugar dentro de muy poco. Decía, fichaje por 5 temporadas más lo que queda de la actual hasta el 2023. Una cláusula de rescisión de 400 millones de euros. Coutinho tiene 25 años, proviene del Liverpool de la Premier League y es internacional brasileño, donde, por ejemplo, juega junto a Paulinho y también, en alguna ocasión, junto a Rafinha, y será el 33º brasileño de la historia del club. Un club acostumbrado a tener grandes jugadores brasileños. Esperemos que Coutinho, como Paulinho y Rafinha, siga con esa gran estela de jugadores brasileños.
We hope so. I mean, he's like a boy. You can see the smile on his face right now. It's like another holiday gift for a boy. He's 25 years old. He already has ample professional experience, both on the national team level with Brazil and with Liverpool and Inter Milan before that. And now he's coming to what is the team of his dreams. He grew up in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He always followed Barca. One of his idols, if not his idol, was Ronaldinho. And he's coming to this team at a time he really wanted to be here. And you can see it in his face. He's extremely happy, as all of us here at Barca, to have him. It should be an exciting next few years with him in the midfield. We hadn't spoken about this before, but he's a midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder. He perfectly fits the Barca mold to bring the ball up the field and to be able to participate in the attack, and helps give head coach Ernesto Valverde several more options to shuffle around his lineup to provide different looks and keep Barca at the forefront of not just Spanish and European, but world football.
Vemos imágenes ahora, Mike, de esta misma mañana, de la primera revisión médica a la que se ha sometido Philippe Coutinho en el hospital de Barcelona. Posteriormente ha ido a la Ciudad Deportiva y ahí el club ya ha comunicado una lesión que ya conocíamos. Coutinho venía con unas pequeñas molestias del Liverpool. Lesión evolutiva en el recto anterior de la pierna derecha. Se estima en un periodo de baja de unos 20 días más o menos, con lo cual habrá que esperar un poco para ver a Coutinho en acción con el FC Barcelona, al menos esas 3 semanas.
Right, he's there with one of the team doctors, Ricard Pruna, and several other members of the medical staff. This morning at 8 a.m., he was at the team's medical facility getting some testing done at the hospital there, and he was formally diagnosed by our club doctors with a thigh injury that'll keep him out about 20 days approximately. It's not too much of a surprise. He had already had some troubles with that thigh and a little discomfort coming from Liverpool in his last few days with the English team. But all in all, it should be a very smooth arrival for him. He'll have some extra time to get used to the city and get settled in before he comes out to the field to play. Nothing to worry about, nothing major, and just a standard part of the signing of a big superstar here, and everybody is getting ready to welcome him. We see pictures of Camp Nou live right now. It's a beautiful sunny day here. It's about 12 degrees Celsius. It's about 57 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see the sun is out, just a few clouds. Pretty clear day, and people are really excited to see this guy. He should bring a lot of excitement to the field. He is a precision passer. He's not a very big guy. He's about 5'7" and 158 pounds. It's about 72 kilos and 171 centimeters, a meter 71. Not a big guy. He's about the size of Xavi and Iniesta. He's right in between the size of Xavi and Iniesta as far as size and weight is concerned. He is a little bit more of an attacker than those two guys, and he's very versatile, can play up on the wing. He has a very potent long-range shot, which can be also used on free kicks, and is a precision passer, and he's going to fit in very nicely here, and I think people just can't wait to see him get going. They'll have their first glimpse of him shortly here at Camp Nou on a beautiful day, January 8th, 2017. It's 2018. Woo!
Hablaba Mike de las opciones que dará Coutinho a Valverde sobre el césped, un jugador polivalente que puede ocupar tanto posiciones en el centro del campo como en la delantera o en las bandas. Un jugador con excelente lanzamiento desde fuera del área. La temporada pasada fue el máximo goleador de la Premier League desde fuera del área, con 6 goles y 3 de ellos de falta directa. Como decía Mike, un especialista a balón parado, como lo es Leo Messi, como lo es Luis Suárez. Un jugador más para cuando hay una falta, otro voluntario para lanzarlas. Philippe Coutinho, 3 goles de falta directa en la pasada Premier League. Un jugador que puede caer a banda, que con Brasil está acostumbrado a jugar de media punta en las bandas. Puede jugar de interior en el sistema del Barça, puede jugar con un 4-3-3, puede jugar con un 4-4-2, más retrasado, más ofensivo. En definitiva, un jugador de una excelente calidad, con mucho gol y que aportará más soluciones si cabe el equipo de Ernesto Valverde. Recordemos, líder en la Liga, clasificado para octavos de final de la Liga de Campeones. Un jugador más para Valverde. Ayer hablaba ya el técnico del Barça. Hay que darle tiempo, pero más soluciones para el equipo. Ha vuelto Ousmane Dembélé, ayer reapareció en el Camp Nou el jugador francés, con lo cual ampliamos las opciones para Valverde.
That's a pretty remarkable statistic for a guy like Coutinho, who in theory is supposed to be distributing the ball around, which he does as well as anybody in the world. But the fact that he led the Premier League last season in goals from outside the area with 6, and that 3 of those were free kicks, speaks to the fact that this guy plays much bigger than his body, and that he is so versatile. Should give Barca a lot of different looks. And I don't know what else to say about this guy. I mean, he's supposed to be great. He's only 25 years old. I think there are not many people out there that are 25 years old that have his kind of experience under his belt. And people have said he had good goal-scoring numbers at Liverpool. He scored in double digits several years, and this is coming from an attacking midfielder. And goals are not as easy to come by in the Premier League as they are in Spain. The highest scorers in Europe have come from other leagues in the last several years. And there's been some speculation. People wondered, how much better is this? How many more goals is he going to score with Barca now that he's going to be able to link up with Iniesta, with Rakitic, with Messi and Suarez, 2 other great passers who are league leaders and among the league leaders in passing every season. Suarez was the league leader in passing for Liverpool before he came to Barca. So to add him into the mix, it looks to be just an addition for defenses everywhere that are going to look at Barca both on paper and on the field, and they're probably going to be a little bit afraid to face us now when he's back and healthy in about 20 days. I'm totally excited. Totally excited.
No es un delantero en el centro, no es un goleador, pero sus cifras goleadores de las últimas temporadas están siendo sobresalientes. En la actual Premier League lleva 6 goles en 12 partidos y lleva 11 goles esta temporada en 17 partidos. 11 goles en 17 partidos, que son cifras prácticamente de un delantero centro, con lo cual el brasileño está incrementando temporada tras temporada su cifra goleadora. Un aliciente más para ver al brasileño en acción. Vemos imágenes de anoche. Ayer Coutinho vio el partido Barça-Levante en el hotel, en su hotel. Y posteriormente, estamos viendo ahora las imágenes, se desplazó al estadio, al Camp Nou, donde allí sí que hubo una pequeña fotografía con los medios de comunicación, no la presentación, que es lo que se producirá ahora mismo, en estos momentos, en breves instantes, pero ahí sí que le vemos ya con el staff del club, con miembros de la junta directiva, con el portavoz Josep Vives, asistiendo a esa pequeña, ahí vemos la entrada, los medios de comunicación esperándole, y ahí se produjo esa primera fotografía oficial. Hoy habrá más, evidentemente.
There's going to be a lot more. It was a late night at Camp Nou last night with Coutinho coming over to get some pictures taken here at the stadium with the scenery behind him last night. The game yesterday was played at 4:15 p.m. local time. Barca won that game 3-0 over Levante. Increased lead over arch rivals Real Madrid, a couple more points. Things are looking good for us in La Liga. But after the game, normally things calm down here at the stadium. There's post-game comments from the coach and from the players. And people want to take a look at the highlights of the game and things like that. But last night there was an added treat for everybody as Coutinho came over from his hotel. He actually watched the game in his hotel room here in Barcelona. But then after the game, when things were calmed down, he came over, and of course he was followed by a large contingent of journalists. As we've seen just a few minutes ago outside the stadium, there's an enormous line of journalists waiting to get into the stadium today for the official unveiling, for his juggling down on the field, and then his posterior press conference, which was about 2 hours away from now, about an hour and 45 minutes. There's just a lot of repercussion in the media for him because he's a Brazilian star. He's projected to be a future star. He's a young guy. He's a huge signing in all senses of the word, and there probably aren't enough adjectives to describe the signing, the transfer, and the type of player that he is. We'll be hearing much more of that over the coming days, and this is almost just the beginning, as we have a lot of things laid out today, and I'm sure that we'll be seeing much more of Coutinho in the coming days as he gets settled in here in Barcelona.
Hemos visto, Mike, antes brevemente imágenes de la familia de Coutinho. Hemos visto a su mujer, Aina, la conoció a los 14 años, es decir, hace 11 años, y desde entonces ha sido su pareja. Se casaron en 2012 y en el 2015 nació su hija, María, a la que también hemos visto en imágenes. Coutinho, un jugador muy familiar, al que siempre vemos en sus perfiles de redes sociales compartiendo su tiempo libre, evidentemente, con su familia, como no, y compartiendo imágenes con su mujer, con su hija. Un jugador, por tanto, Coutinho, al que gusta disfrutar de su tiempo libre con su familia.
Yeah, he has a very interesting personal life. He's very well traveled. Grew up in Rio de Janeiro. When he was 18 years old, he moved to Italy to play for Inter in Milan. His parents came along with him. His girlfriend, Anne, came along with him. We'll pause for a second because we're about to.
Estoy muy contento, muy feliz.
Palabras de ayer de Coutinho.
Hear what he said yesterday.
Siempre he dicho, es un sueño que estoy viviendo, entonces
having a little bit of a technical difficulty with the sound. As soon as we get the audio, we'll bring that to you.
Ganar títulos, ganar cosas, hacer felices los fans.
Bueno, Coutinho básicamente dijo que es un sueño, que va a jugar y convivir con sus ídolos y que sus objetivos son poder ganar títulos, hacer felices a los fans y jugar siempre con alegría. El brasileño dijo también que estaba muy contento de poder aprender de jugadores que tienen mucha historia en relación, evidentemente, a Leo Messi, Andrés Iniesta, Gerard Piqué, Sergio Busquets o a Luis Suárez, jugador con el cual coincidió en el Liverpool.
Right, he said it was a dream come true to be here, that it would be incredible playing alongside idols like Messi and Luis Suarez. He played with Luis Suarez at Liverpool, and again, these were statements that he gave yesterday to Barça TV here after the game at Camp Nou. He said he's very happy. He always said he feels like he's living a dream, so a very humble guy, which is one of the core values of FC Barcelona. He's wants to be able to play football, to win titles. He wants to make the fans happy and play with a smile. Those were his principal objectives, and as we see, he's got an enormous smile. He's very photogenic. He said, it's incredible to know I will be around idols of mine with players who have such a great history like Leo, Luis Suarez, Andres Iniesta, Gerard Piqué, Sergio Busquets, all the great players. I'm very happy to know I will be playing with them, and I'll be able to learn, live, and win together. So very much a team player, and he fits in perfectly with the values of the club. Of course, just to review again what the schedule is going to be like today, right about now, in just a couple minutes, he's going to be officially signing that 5-year deal along with FC Barcelona president Josep Bartomeu. Shortly thereafter, he'll be in the Roma lounge here at Camp Nou for the official unveiling, for some photos. He'll be able to make a few comments. At 1:45, that's less than an hour from now, as people are still filing into the stadium from outside. It's an open presentation today in the stadium, which we've done for several players over the years, and it's a nice day out. It rained yesterday. It wasn't a very nice day to be at Camp Nou yesterday. Over 55,000 people braved the rain and the cold to be here for Barca's 3-0 win over Levante. But today it's sunny, the weather's pretty nice, and there are droves of people lined up to get into Camp Nou. It's free of cost, but they just want to get in and sit in the stands and have a chance to see Coutinho juggle the ball for a couple minutes as they're filing into the stadium right now at about 1:45. It's about 50 minutes from now. He's scheduled to appear on the field at Camp Nou. That's open to the public. Of course, tickets were limited. And as soon as he's out there, of course, we will be bringing you live video and commentary of that. When that's finished, when he's finished juggling the balls down on the field, of course, dressed in the Barca uniform, at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Central European Time, he will be appearing at his first press conference. So for everybody out there following on Facebook and YouTube, we would like to welcome you here to facebook.com/FC Barcelona, to youtube.com/FC Barcelona, and to Barca Video on fcbarcelona.com. As we see images of him watching the game yesterday from his hotel, as we said earlier. All of this material, special videos and behind-the-scenes photos and videos from yesterday are also available, not just through this transmission that you're listening to right now, but through Barca Video and fcbarcelona.com, the official website of FC Barcelona in English. Will be coming to you live throughout the day today for the next couple of hours at least, both in English and in Spanish. I'm here along with my colleague Jordi Abel, who will be commenting also in Spanish for all of you Spanish speakers out there. And I will be speaking in English as we are well into the first full day of Philippe Coutinho as an FC Barcelona player. Of course, he has yet to officially sign that contract. That is coming up just moments away. We'll have everything for you live, and we'll be sprinkling the live coverage of today's signing, his presentation, his unveiling, his juggling down on the field, and his press conference. We'll be sprinkling that coverage with images and videos, exclusive images and videos from his first couple of days here in the capital of Catalonia. There's him again with his wife and a couple of his family members there at his hotel yesterday. Pictures being taken by the official first team photographer Miguel Ruiz as he walks down the corridor in his hotel. In just a couple seconds, we'll be getting to some of your comments here on Facebook and YouTube. And shortly, we'll be seeing him sign his contract, which will be the moment that it all becomes official. It's just a formality at this point, as the young Brazilian is getting ready to officially start his career with Barça.
Ya falta poco, Mike, para que empiece este acto de presentación oficial. Se está demorando un poquito. Siempre estas jornadas maratonianas de presentación hay algún imprevisto que retrasa un poquito el planning, pero está a punto de aparecer ya Philippe Coutinho en la llotja president Suñol, con los miembros de la junta directiva, encabezada por su presidente, por Josep María Bartomeu, y en breve aparecerán para ya empezar este acto de presentación de Philippe Coutinho.
I mean, just to give people an idea, things that they can't see on the TV screen of how big this signing is. When I came to the stadium this morning, I thought, I got here with plenty of time. I need to get everything ready for today's broadcast of his official presentation, and I almost couldn't find a parking spot. They told me that I was going to have to park on the other side of the stadium in an area where I don't have to go because it was completely full, and I found, I think, the last spot in the entire area. I was extremely lucky. There were security people everywhere. It almost looked like a game day with a number of security people at doors around the stadium. Lines and lines of journalists, photo and video television journalists from both here in Catalonia, from the rest of Europe, Great Britain. He's come from Liverpool, and especially the Brazilian media, and actually around the world. There are people, fans lined up outside the stadium, lines hundreds of yards long of fans slowly filing into the stadium. Hundreds of them are already seated in the upper section of the grandstand, or the middle section of the grandstand, where they get the perfect view of him today. And it's just, this is not a normal day, and it's, of course, it's not a normal signing. This guy's a superstar. He's a bona fide star. He's somebody who is projected to be one of those guys that can take the baton from what used to be the Xavi, the midfield legend Xavi, and now Andres Iniesta, who signed a lifetime contract with Barça already this year. He is another generation, and he's expected to bring Barça into the next decade or so. And a lot of people are really excited. You can see his shirt. They've already got his shirt stamped. People are already buying his shirt in the Barça store right outside here. People who normally would come just to visit the museum, they're lining up.
On our website also.
On the website as well. It's huge. It's huge. You can only see so much on the TV, but the energy buzzing outside, inside, and around the stadium today and in the rest of Barcelona, coffee shops, bars, people are talking about Coutinho. Barca's on a roll this year. We're undefeated. We won another game yesterday. We're way up in the league standings. We're headed into the last 16 of the Champions League against Chelsea, which, of course, Coutinho won't be able to play in the Champions League for us this year because he already appeared for Liverpool. That's one of the rules that UEFA has for the Champions League. But he will be able to appear in La Liga, and he'll be able to appear in the Copa del Rey.
Por supuesto, podrá jugar tanto en la Liga como en la Copa del Rey a partir más o menos de finales de mes. Recordamos, 20 días de baja por una lesión evolutiva en la pierna derecha. Un par de datos más sobre Coutinho. Como hemos dicho, nació en el año 92. El 12 de junio, solo 24 días después de que el FC Barcelona levantara su primera Liga de Campeones, Copa de Europa en aquel momento, en el año 1992, el 20 de mayo, en Wembley. Por tanto, Coutinho nació justo después de ese primer gran éxito europeo, en caso de Copa de Europa, del FC Barcelona.
That's incredible because that wasn't just 21 days or 20 days after Barca won its first European Cup, the famous goal
from Ronald
Koeman. But it was also about a month and a half before the inauguration of the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona. It was a huge summer in Barcelona, the summer of 1992. And now, posthumously, now we can look back and we can say, hey, Coutinho was also born that summer. And so we have a little bit of another famous Barca moment that nobody knew about back then, but 92 was a big summer. And now we have another reason to make it into a big summer.
Veis imágenes de ayer por la tarde. Coutinho, como decíamos, hizo el tour por el Camp Nou, por el museo, y también pasó por la tienda Nike del FC Barcelona, donde estampó su camiseta.
It looks like he's stamping his own shirt.
Claro. No sabemos si es la que usará en el día del debut. Ahí la tenéis, la camiseta de Coutinho. Ya la podéis comprar, por supuesto, en nuestras tiendas oficiales Nike y también en nuestra página web. Veremos qué dorsal lleva, aún no lo sabemos. Es una de las sorpresas que quedan por descubrir hoy, el dorsal que lucirá Coutinho. Un jugador que, atención, Mike, empezó jugando al fútbol sala. Como muchos jugadores brasileños, el fútbol sala, que es un deporte muy practicado, importantísimo en Brasil, empezó en Vasco de Gama, pero practicando fútbol sala. Y claro, era tan bueno que en Vasco de Gama dijeron, tenemos que recuperarlo para el equipo de fútbol 11 en este caso. Luego fichó por el Inter de Milán, su primer gran club en Europa. Fue cedido al Español, al otro club de Barcelona, que juega en primera división, donde jugó media temporada y donde ya jugó un partido en el Camp Nou. Y luego el Inter lo vendió al Liverpool, de donde lo ha fichado el Fútbol Club Barcelona. Por tanto, una carrera Vasco da Gama, Inter, Español, Liverpool y ahora el Fútbol Club Barcelona. Y como ya hemos dicho, internacional con la selección brasileña, donde juega, por ejemplo, junto a otro brasileño del Barça, como es Paulinho, que ayer volvió a marcar, que lleva 7 goles en la Liga y que, bueno, serán rivales por un espacio en el 11 a partir de ahora.
It's a pretty interesting story. As far as footwork is concerned and dribbling is concerned, they've compared him a little bit to Neymar, his countryman. Neymar's from Sao Paulo. Coutinho's from Rio de Janeiro. But as the story goes, when he was young and playing with his brothers, he was used to playing in small concrete football fields in the city there. And it was through these little tiny fields, and they had very small spaces, and a lot of kids were out there on the playing, that he developed his ability to maneuver and dribble the ball in really small spaces, crowded around by a lot of people with not a lot of places to go. And he developed these dribbling skills that he would go on to take to Vasco da Gama's futsal, their indoor football, as FIFA sanctions the futsal, the official sport of futsal. It's a little bit different than indoor football in the United States, but he played there. Then he moved on to football, and he's become a world-class footballer, world-class dribbler, and a lot of that is thanks to his upbringing back in Rio de Janeiro.
Y una cualidad, la de jugar en espacios reducidos, la de tener buen dribbling, la de tocar el balón muy rápido, que le vendrá muy muy bien para jugar en el Fútbol Club Barcelona. Como saben nuestros fans, tiene un estilo de juego muy definido, un estilo de juego de ataque, de combinar rápido, con jugadores que lo saben hacer muy bien, como Leo Messi, como Andrés Iniesta, etcétera, etcétera. Con lo cual, esa característica que quizás en la Premier League no se usa tanto, de juego rápido, de combinar rápido, de moverse muy rápido con el balón, le vendrá muy bien para adaptarse rápido al juego del Fútbol Club Barcelona.
Well, I think that way of learning soccer, learning football, is really interesting because I've been living here for about 15 years now, and I have 2 sons, and they're learning to play. But in their school, the play is 5-a-side soccer. It's almost like a futsal court. It's outside, it's on concrete, but it's a smaller court, it's a smaller field, and they really have to learn the basics of dribbling and moving around and passing into open spaces and getting used to these small spaces. And eventually, I guess they'll move on to bigger fields. But when I grew up in the United States, back in the 80s and 90s, everybody learned on huge fields. And so there wasn't this necessity to learn how to operate in small spaces. There wasn't this necessity to dribble with players around you. There was plenty of space to maneuver, and you basically just had to kick the ball off the field. That may be a big advantage. And, of course, you can see in Coutinho as he heads into the table. We'll get back to his personal story later. And he's sitting down with club president Josep Maria Bartomeu and is about to sign his contract, his new contract with FC Barcelona, the buyout clause of which is set at 400 million euros. It's going to be for the rest of this season and then 5 more seasons until June, the end of the season of the 2022-2023 season. That's June of 2023. And the pen is flowing there. The ink is coming out of the pen.
Ahí está Felipe Coutinho posando ante los medios de comunicación y firmando ya ese nuevo contrato con el Fútbol Club Barcelona. Recordemos, por lo que queda de temporada y 5 más hasta el mes de junio del 2023, con una cláusula de rescisión de 400 millones de euros. Y a su lado el presidente Josep Maria Bartomeu, iniciando este acto oficial de presentación de Felipe Coutinho, jugador brasileño, recordemos, de 25 años, nuevo fichaje del Fútbol Club Barcelona en este mercado de invierno. El brasileño, evidentemente, más que feliz con esta firma.
Yes. Oh, he's so happy. He's got a big, wide grin. They say that that's the way he plays. He plays happy. A young guy, 25 years old. And he looks to be like a kid opening late Christmas presents. He's got signing his name in the margin, his initialing in the margin. There's the club president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, on the left. They are now exchanging copies, it looks to be, and they're going to do it all again to formalize it. Duplicate copies of the contract.
como decíamos, será el jugador brasileño número 33 en la historia del Fútbol Club Barcelona.
That's hard to believe. I mean, just 33 players in the history of FC Barcelona, given the long history and the few players who everybody knows their names. Everybody knows that we've had players like Rivaldo and Ronaldinho and Neymar and Romario and things like that. Ronaldo, Nazario. But there haven't been that many more. Barca's in about the big this smart. We had a huge there's a lot and team can come back on the fans that which Going to be as he several times over the last couple of days, and he just back there on the field. He's a kid, tons of very positive guy. Again, some pictures with photos down, just grab the phone. Opportunities, so to the auction off for draw live of the camp. We're a little bit expecting everybody used to there. We'll get another person almost on the 6th of January. So you get January, and then not the case. Every and of course, families will clean the rooms, wrapping paper, and sort yesterday on Monday. Today's everybody 25-year-old Brazilian at see John got nearby and sent about 5 minutes from the stadium after he got into sports football. He was there on the treadmill, getting his oxygen tested. Posted on Instagram with Ryan. Here's a some of his that summer but this is for people goal. And there's still images we have to the field. On this, his first full day, his first official day as an FC Barcelona player. Just moments ago, we saw him putting pen to paper and signing that contract that will ensure that he is in the Blaugrana until June of 2023. That's the end of the 2022-23 season at the earliest. The shadow is slowly moving across the midfield there. It'll be moving a little bit more to the right as the sun heads across the sky here at Camp Nou. It's about 1:30 p.m. Central European time. If you're commenting on Facebook and on YouTube, let us know where you're following from. There's Paulinho.
E como eu falei, tenho certeza que vai ajudar muito o Barcelona a conquistarmos aí os nossos objetivos.
Paulinho and Luis Suarez were asked about Coutinho yesterday after the game, after Barca's 3-0 victory over Levante, and nothing but kind words, welcoming him with open arms, extolling his virtues as a player, and looking forward to playing with him and welcoming into the Barca dressing room to make sure that he has a nice adaptation and can get going as soon as possible.
Es un grandísimo jugador. Yo creo que ese estilo Barça total va, bueno, seguro que va a hacer disfrutar a toda la gente y también nos va a ayudar muchísimo a nosotros, ¿no? Es verdad que la plantilla es muy buena ahora mismo, pero con las incorporaciones que estamos teniendo, pues bueno, seguro que va a dar un salto de calidad tremendo al equipo y bueno, nos alegramos por él. Aparte, pues me han hablado muy bien como persona de él y yo creo que también es importante para el estilo de jugadores que ya no solo en el campo, sino como personas que tenemos ya aquí, que se puedan sumar pues grandes personas, es importante.
Jordi Alba saying that the team was pretty good already, but now the team's even better. And expressing his opinion that Coutinho is very much a Barca typical player. That he's a guy that's in the Barca mold.
Palabras de Paulinho, palabras de Luis Suárez, jugadores que han coincidido con él. Y lo que decíamos, 33er jugador brasileño en la historia del Barça. Ahí vemos algunos de los predecesores, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Romario, su primer gol como azulgrana. Ahí vemos a Ronaldinho, también su primer gol como azulgrana. Neymar, que dejó el club el pasado verano. Y ahora, welcome Coutinho. Y que siga la samba, Mike.
I'm stoked for Coutinho. I can't wait to see him play for Barca. We know that he's put up some very good numbers in the last few years with Liverpool in the English Premier League. The Premier League is very difficult. It's very physically demanding, and it should be very interesting what kind of numbers he puts up here at Barca with some of the players that he's going to be surrounded by now in the midfield and on the attacking line. And with the style of play in the Spanish First Division, which tends to be a little bit more open and slightly less physical than in the English Premier League, people should be really excited to see what he can do with the ball here in Spain.
Algunos datos más sobre Coutinho. En total en su carrera ha jugado 337 partidos como profesional, 305 a nivel de clubes, ya lo hemos dicho, Vasco da Gama, Inter de Milán, Español y Liverpool, y 32 con la selección brasileña, donde ha marcado 77 goles y, atención, 54 asistencias. Hemos hablado mucho de las cifras de goles, pero evidentemente como centrocampista ofensivo que es, jugador creativo de muchísima calidad y con un excelente último pase, evidentemente sus cifras en cuanto a asistencias son muy importantes, de ahí que Ernesto Valverde pueda usar al jugador tanto en un perfil un poco más ofensivo, un poquito más quizás cerca de la banda, como en un perfil más en el centro del campo, como interior, por detrás de los delanteros. Le dará muchas alternativas a Ernesto Valverde, jugador también rápido, insistimos que puede actuar en posiciones más cercanas al extremo, un perfil que el Barça suele usar en sus partidos, por lo tanto un jugador que abrirá muchísimo las opciones ofensivas en el equipo de Ernesto Valverde, además ahora con algunas bajas en la delantera, como es la de Paco Alcácer, y veremos si es capaz de hacer cosas como estas. El histórico gol de chilena de Rivaldo contra el Valencia, que le dio la clasificación al equipo para una Liga de Campeones. Rivaldo, uno de los referentes, cómo no, de Coutinho, uno de los mejores jugadores brasileños de la historia del club. Veremos si Coutinho es capaz de mantener o superar ese nivel de sus predecesores. Mike, what about this goal?
That's a pretty incredible goal. There's a picture of Ronaldinho. We saw another one of Dani Alves. There have been a long line of fabulous Brazilian players who have starred for FC Barcelona. Coutinho is now the latest. There are going to be very high expectations for him here, but this is a guy who's always had high expectations wherever he's gone, and he has managed to live up to those expectations. He's very much the star that he was expected to be several years ago as a young player, and he's still developing. He still has not hit his absolute prime yet. So it's very difficult to look back. I mean, there's guys like Romario and Rivaldo and Ronaldinho that were absolutely stunning Brazilians. They may have been a little bit older in these images than Coutinho is now. Coutinho is only 25. But I don't know if it's fair to really compare him with a lot of those guys yet. But this is what we've come to expect from these Brazilian magicians, these Brazilian geniuses. And he's got, Coutinho has all the skills, he's got all the tools to make it happen. And it's just a matter of letting it happen. And he should have no problem because there's a lot of great players here at Barça. At both ends of the field and in the midfield to be able to get him the ball and to be able to receive the ball from him. I'm very much looking forward to him playing alongside Leo Messi. I know a lot of people are, because it'll be just another way for somebody to get the ball to Messi. One of Coutinho's biggest virtues, as Jordi was just saying a second ago, besides the fact that he's extremely versatile and can play on both sides of the midfield. He can play an attacking midfield position in the middle. He can also play winger. Some people have even compared him to Neymar at times. He can go up the field and play as a winger, is that he has an incredibly powerful shot from outside the area. He led the Premier League in goals from outside the area last year with 6. 3 of them came on set pieces. But one of probably the biggest areas where he was praised in recent years is his ability to make long precision passes from the midfield to find forwards breaking towards the goal to set them up on runs into goal. That's something that brings to mind Xavi. Xavi did that spectacularly several years ago. He would have a ball just around the center circle and would pick out a streaking Leo Messi and thread a needle through 3 defenders to a streaking Leo Messi. That those passes are extremely difficult. You have to have pace, power, and precision on those balls to get them onto the foot of your strikers, and that's one of the virtues, the big virtues of Felipe Coutinho. So in 20 days, 21 days, 3 weeks, I guess we'll get to see that. But honestly, just talking about it right now is giving me goosebumps as we hear from some of the fans in the stands that are talking about today's presentation. This fan says that they like his dribbling skills and the way he distributes the ball to his teammates. why did you come today? He's a great signing with a lot of goals and assists to contribute. Who do you think he's like? You said he's a great signing, but can you compare him to anybody? This fan says no. He says he's unique, and he's like a mix of several other great players.
Si fuera una mezcla de todos los brasileños que hemos tenido últimamente, sería de los que hemos visto en imagen, por ejemplo.
Not bad.
Sí que sería un jugador único, totalmente. El listón muy alto, seguramente, para Phil Coutinho, pero muchas esperanzas en la afición blaugrana para ver al brasileño en acción y ver a qué nivel puede rendir el exfutbolista del Liverpool en su nuevo club y con sus nuevos compañeros. Podemos pensar también que si Coutinho ha rendido también en equipos como el Liverpool, Inter de Milán, ahora rodeado de los mejores jugadores del mundo, como son los del FC Barcelona, con Messi, con Luis Suárez, con Iniesta, con Rakitic, con Busquets, con Jordi Alba, con Sergi Roberto.
Right, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. He's played 6 years in the Premier League. He's also had time in Inter Milan and the Serie A. He played in the Spanish First Division on loan in Espanyol. Lots of experience, but he's never been surrounded by the players that he's going to be surrounded by now. The level of play across Barca's starting 11 and then their substitutes is just head and shoulders above virtually every other team in the world. There are only a couple other teams in the world that can boast lineups that can even compare to Barca's. And so he hasn't been on one of those teams yet. I mean, Liverpool's no slouch. Liverpool's a very, very good team. They've won. They have good players from all over the planet, internationals up and down their roster. But this is another level coming here to Camp Nou, and he should benefit, and the Barca players should also benefit. It should be mutually beneficial for everybody to see him in the lineup, and it's just a matter of letting it happen. He'll be out 20 days. 20 more days is determined by the medical staff this morning with some trouble with his right thigh. But as you can see what he does out on the field, if he's anything like a combination of the Brazilian players who have come in the past, look out. Look out, because this guy's going to be spectacular in the Blaugrana.
Aquí vemos algunos de sus
That goal
imágenes
right there?
recientes con el Liverpool, en este caso un gol en el campo del Bournemouth, si no me equivoco.
That kind of shot where he goes across the grain and then cuts the ball back and slowly beats the goalkeeper, that looks just like Leo Messi. I mean, you can point out those kinds of shots look like Leo Messi.
Y aquí vemos un gol desde
Forget the
fuera del
Brazilian
área.
guys.
Un gol desde fuera del área, pero Mike demostrando que es un jugador muy inteligente y con un sexto sentido para el fútbol, porque chuta conscientemente, fíjate, por debajo de la barrera.
Right.
Espera que los defensas salten, como es habitual, y él, con toda la intención, chuta por debajo de la barrera, con lo cual hablamos de un jugador especial sobre el césped, Mike.
Right, and he didn't need to hit it with all the power in the world, like 100 miles an hour. He needed to thread the needle there and hit it exactly where he wanted to, and it froze. The wall jumped up, the goalkeeper froze, and it found the net just inside the post. Leo Messi does that a lot. It's pretty incredible.
Más imágenes recientes con el Liverpool, más goles del futbolista brasileño, y le vemos llegando desde la segunda línea, aprovechando el rechace del portero.
That's something that Paulinho has done a lot this year. I'm going to start picking out because people have said he's a combination of these. I mean, this guy does it all.
Habrá que verlo en directo para ver.
Can he defend? Can he play goalkeeper?
Anything.
Yeah.
He's a super player. Ahí le hemos visto antes partiendo desde el perfil izquierdo, una de sus posiciones habituales con el Liverpool, también con la selección brasileña, donde también puede jugar escorado a la banda derecha, insistimos, en el centro del campo, por detrás de un delantero. Ahí le vemos llegando desde atrás, uno de los 6 goles que ha marcado en la actual Premier League, 11 en total contando la Liga de Campeones. Como ya hemos explicado, Coutinho ha jugado ya Champions League con el Liverpool en la presente temporada, lo cual le impide jugar a partir de ahora con el Barça en esa competición, es decir, a partir de los octavos de final contra el Chelsea. Atención, imagen en directo del Camp Nou, Coutinho ya preparado para saltar al césped y para hacer estallar a los aficionados, a los miles de aficionados que hay en el Camp Nou, esperando a que el brasileño entre al césped. Lo escuchamos.
Here comes Felipe Coutinho. He comes out onto the field. The Barca anthem is playing in the stadium.
Una de las imágenes más esperadas del día, Phil Coutinho pisando por primera vez el césped del Camp Nou como jugador del FC Barcelona. Recordemos que ya lo hizo con el Español hace 5 años.
Right, among all the signings that we've had over the last few years, I said a little while ago that there hasn't been a signing this big since Luis Suarez came to Barça in the summer of 14. We've had players like Paulinho and Dembélé and a spate of players the summer before, like Luca Digne and Umtiti and Denis Suarez and a bunch of other guys and Andre Gomez, but nothing was as big as this. Not nearly as many people. And those were summer signings where it was beautiful outside and it was nice and warm. It's cold here at Camp Nou. It's January. It's just after vacation. It's lunchtime for a lot of people. They're skipping their lunch for this. That's big. If people are skipping their lunch for this here in Barcelona, it must be big.
Contento Phil Coutinho de realizar esos primeros toques con el balón en el césped del Camp Nou, y más contenta aún la afición del Barça, que ha venido al estadio del FC Barcelona porque ha podido seguir en directo al jugador brasileño, que ahora, como ya hizo Dembélé en su día, participará en un pequeño rondo con los jugadores de la FC Barcelona, nuestra escuela de formación del FC Barcelona, y hará el rondo tan identificativo del fútbol del FC Barcelona, valga la redundancia, esa forma de entender el fútbol tan particular que se enseña en las categorías inferiores del FC Barcelona y de la cual Coutinho participará desde el primer día. Ahí le vemos participando en ese rondo.
Yes, they're gonna take part with a couple young players from the FCB Escola. This rondo, which is what they call in Spanish and Catalan. The rondo is essentially, we've said several times on these transmissions before, presentations of players and training sessions for FC Barcelona, it's like a keep-away game where multiple players stand in a circle. There's 2 players in the middle, like a monkey in the middle or a piggy in the middle, if you will, and they try to complete 15 passes, 20 passes, it depends on the game, without the players in the middle touching the ball. And if someone in the middle is able to get a touch on the ball, they get to go on the outside, and the person who passed the ball away has to go into the middle. So there's Coutinho. They're kicking around the 2017-18 Nike La Liga ball, which is a high visibility ball for the winter months. In the fall and in the spring, they switch to a white ball. And in the winter months, they play with a yellow ball. It's their high visibility ball for Nike. It can be easily seen here, except when we're in the sun on a day like today. And he looks like he's having fun out there. I wonder how old these kids are. How old did we say they were? 10 years old? And he's 25? He's not that much older. It wasn't long ago that he was like them.
Ahí
a couple
está
high fives.
Ese rondo de Phil Coutinho
And
con los niños de la FC Barcelona.
We'll be seeing a lot more images of Coutinho in rondos in FC Barcelona training sessions, which of course we post highlights of our training sessions every day on our website, fcbarcelona.com, and on Barça Video on our official website in both English, Spanish, Catalan, and the other languages, with a short highlight video of the training session every day. And in those videos, we have the day's rondos with several players, Messi, Suarez, and now we'll have Coutinho in the mix starting in about 20 days when he gets medical clearance to get back with the team following a thigh injury that he was officially announced to have today. But today, the big day, his presentation down there on the field. We've already gone through countless megabytes, maybe gigabytes of photos and videos. He signed the contract already with Josep Maria Bartomeu. Now he's speaking with Mark Brau of Barça TV down on the pitch. It's a dream. Thanks for coming, everybody, he said. Listen up.
Has dicho desde que llegaste que era un sueño poder jugar en el Barça. Cuéntanos por qué.
You said it was a dream. Tell us why.
Por toda la historia que este club tiene, por todos los grandes jugadores que pasaron acá, por los que están acá ahora. Entonces, es un momento difícil de explicar porque estoy muy feliz. Mi familia está toda acá también y esperamos que pronto estemos acá podendo jugar y ayudar.
He said he's happy to be here because of the history of this club and the big players it's had throughout history. He's very happy to be here with his family.
Si quieres lanzar un mensaje a la afición del Barça.
No, solo agradecer por por las bienvenidas, por las redes sociales, que todos que están acá, que vinieron a verme. Espero que pronto esté en el campo para responder todas las expectativas de vosotros.
He said he wants to thank everybody for the
Muchas
great
gracias, Philip.
welcome, and especially on social media. And he hopes to be able to be playing soon and live up to the high expectations and perform out on the field for the Barça fans. Not necessarily the first words of Philippe Coutinho, maybe the fourth, fifth, sixth words. We've already heard him a few times, but he's very clear. He's very thankful. He's very humble. He has a lot of respect. He has a lot of ambition. It's kind of like the Barça values out there, right? Humility, effort, ambition, respect, and teamwork. He embodies them all, as do several of the Barça players, as he's about to get the keys to a new Audi.
Otro de los actos de esta presentación oficial, uno de los patrocinadores principales del club, Audi, entregando el coche para Philippe Coutinho, como no, el futbolista brasileño, que no podía ser menos.
It was just a few weeks ago that the players on the team were out at the Catalonia racing circuit, Formula One and MotoGP circuit, getting their Audis. Coutinho now coming today, as the new players tend to get. They bring a car out to the field of his choosing. Audi, an official sponsor of FC Barcelona, and he's going to get behind the wheel. He's not going to drive off. We don't want him to mess up the turf.
No.
They're going to leave it there. He's going to get his photo taken. Maybe he'll get in and get behind the wheel for a second.
Faltan pocos minutos ya para que Coutinho vaya al vestuario del FC Barcelona. Otro de los momentos especiales de esta presentación. Lo hemos escuchado ya un par de veces hablar, pero esperaros porque de aquí a un rato habrá la rueda de prensa oficial donde Coutinho responderá a todas las preguntas de los medios de comunicación, de los cientos de medios de comunicación acreditados en el acto de hoy.
Right,
y ahí
up until
Coutinho
now.
responderá a todas las preguntas y hablará sobre cualquier cosa.
Absolutely. I mean, right up until now, he's limited most of his words to thanks for the welcome, and he understands the history, and he's excited to play. The basic stuff. I mean, he's a humble guy. He's not faking it. This is his true self. He's a very humble guy from Rio de Janeiro. He's been playing many years in the first division of Spain and in Italy and in England. But when we get to the press conference, which is scheduled for 2:30, it's about 40 minutes from now. Hopefully it'll get off on schedule. It's going to be right here at Camp Nou, also in the 1899 auditorium, which is adjacent to Camp Nou, within the Camp Nou area here just outside the stadium. That's when the floor will officially be opened to journalists from around the world. As my colleague Jordi Abel just said, hundreds of journalists have been accredited and credentialed for today's official unveiling of Philippe Coutinho, something which normally isn't done except for games, hundreds of journalists. But that's going to be today for today's presentation. A lot of them from Brazil, from Europe, from Spain, from around the world as well, because he's already a superstar quality. And that's when he goes into the press conference, that's when the floor will be opened. Whether he will vary his answers more and expound a little bit on what he wants, we don't know. But we know that he'll have the opportunity to, because the journalists on hand will have the chance to ask anything they want. And they will probably ask several interesting and creative questions about his life, his personal life, about the Barca players, his experience with other players, maybe some of the details behind his signing, maybe what it feels like to be at Camp Nou. It'll be very interesting. There's questions that we think that they'll ask, and there's a lot of questions, of course, we have no idea that they'll ask, but FC Barcelona official unveiling press conferences for new players are always exciting moments, and this is no exception. It's arguably the biggest signing we've had here in years, and the evidence is right there. Hundreds, I think it's thousands. I don't know whether it's 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I'm going to guess it's about 3,000 or 4,000 people that showed up for this unveiling and the juggling out on the field. We know that we've had 1,000, 2,000 before for some of the other players who were unveiled out on the field, mostly in previous summers. This is the rare winter transfer signing for FC Barcelona, and a big one at that, as we get to some other questions with some fans down there that are still in their seats.
Un aficionado del Liverpool, Mike, lo habéis escuchado, diciendo que es uno de los mejores jugadores que ha visto con la camiseta red y que evidentemente es una lástima perderlo y que se ha traspasado al FC Barcelona. Hoy también ha querido estar en la presentación del brasileño como jugador del Barça, pero lamentando que deje el Liverpool, evidentemente.
Well, I think that we as Barça fans should know how this feels, because we lost Neymar earlier this summer. Neymar wanted to go to PSG. It ended up happening. There were rumors for weeks about that happening, and it eventually went down, and people were sad here because we lost a great player, a Brazilian player who had come to love the city loved him, and now we're replacing Neymar essentially with a guy they've compared to him, and we can only empathize with the Liverpool fans. A lot of them must be sad up there in northern England. We just heard it there from this fan right now. Coutinho, one of the best players he's ever seen. He's going to miss him, but we're happy to have him. So we lost a Brazilian in August, and we gained a Brazilian in January. And we're doing very well this season. I can recall in August when Neymar left Barça, there was a certain cloud that came over the Barcelona media, and some of the fans were not sure how the season's going to go. We had just fallen in the Super Cup to Real Madrid, the very successful U.S. tour, which Neymar was on in July, but there were rumors swirling around his exit that whole time. Then we lost the Super Cup to Real Madrid, and I think that people were a little pessimistic, should I say, to put it lightly, about Barca's season. But guess what? We haven't lost a game since then. We're undefeated in the UEFA Champions League. 6 games, haven't lost. We've played 3 games in the Copa del Rey, in the last 32 twice, and 1 in the last 16. Haven't lost. And we are undefeated in La Liga. We are 9 points up over Atletico Madrid. They're in second place, 11 points up over Valencia, and 16 points up over Real Madrid. And that was completely unexpected. People were surprised, and now we're adding this guy, Felipe Coutinho, to this team. It seems amazing. It's almost unbelievable. Pinch me. Am I dreaming?
Como decía Mike, no puede llegar Coutinho.
I feel bad for that guy from Liverpool, but I'm sorry, I also have to be happy myself.
No puede llegar en mejor momento Coutinho al FC Barcelona, como recordaba Mike, líder destacado en la Liga Española con 9 puntos sobre el segundo clasificado, invicto en la Liga de Campeones después de 6 jornadas, clasificado evidentemente para los octavos de final, invicto en la Copa del Rey después de 3 partidos. Una gran temporada del FC Barcelona, seguramente mejor de lo que esperaban muchos de los aficionados del FC Barcelona después de perder un gran jugador, como decías Mike, como es Neymar en verano. Está claro que Coutinho, evidentemente, si Coutinho pudiese elegir, elegiría llegar en un buen momento del FC Barcelona, un buen momento deportivo, el equipo está funcionando, buenos resultados, y será más fácil, entendemos, para Coutinho integrarse en el equipo, será más fácil para Valverde integrar al jugador en el equipo, irlo incorporando progresivamente en cuanto esté recuperado.
I don't want people to lose their pants out there. We have to be certainly very optimistic about this because of where we are situated in the 3 competitions right now, and with the overall great play of the team, not just offensively, but perhaps defensively. The defenders have been probably the biggest stars of the team so far this season. They've shut out teams left and right. The goalkeeper, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, has 12 shutouts, 12 clean sheets in 18 La Liga games, 4 more in the Champions League. We have barely given up any goals this season as well. So it's not just an offensive thing, it's a defensive thing as well. The midfield is the backbone. They've been the link between the offense and the defense. It's been an all-around team effort. But I don't want anybody to get ahead of themselves because, as we know from Ernesto Valverde's press conferences before every game, and there will be another one coming up before the Copa del Rey this week, and there'll be another one before Barca's league match over the weekend on Saturday. The game's on Sunday, the press conference will be on Saturday. Ernesto Valverde doesn't really care how we're situated right now. It's nice to be up. It's nice to have these advantages in points. It's nice to have the winning streak. But he's only worried about the next game. And he says that we don't need to evaluate the team, or we shouldn't evaluate the team until the end of the season. We have to see what the team's going to win, because right now the team hasn't won anything. So he wants to keep the players with their feet on the ground. And, of course, Barça fans, keep your feet on the ground as well. In both La Liga, the Champions League, and the Copa del Rey, nothing has been won yet. We have a long way to go this season. We haven't even reached the halfway point of the Liga season. We've got one more game to go to finish the first half of the Liga season. There are 38 La Liga matches. We've played 18. The 19th is this Sunday. We're only in the last 16 of the UEFA Champions League. We're in the last 16 of the Copa del Rey. Long way to go, but things are looking pretty sunny right now.
Habrá que esperar a ver cómo acaba la temporada.
And I'm not talking about Coutinho's smile.
Habrá que esperar a ver cómo acaba la temporada y si Coutinho incrementa aún más el buen juego del FC Barcelona en esas 3 competiciones. Recordemos que no podrá jugar en Liga de Campeones, pero que podremos disfrutarle muy pronto, tanto en la Liga como en la Copa del Rey. Estamos esperando ya esa imagen en directo del Auditori 1899, donde se producirá la rueda de prensa oficial. Están los la sala.
Right, they had to move
para la rueda de prensa oficial.
Right, they had to have the press conference in the 1899 auditorium. 1899, of course, is the year that FC Barcelona was founded. It's an iconic year. That's the name of the auditorium. It's adjacent to Camp Nou. It's just about 150 yards from the Camp Nou Stadium. It's within what is the area, the esplanade of Camp Nou. It's within the Camp Nou outer gates. They had to move the press conference there because with the hundreds of journalists accredited, there was not enough space in the press room at the training center in San Juan d'Espí, not enough space in the press room here at the stadium where they conduct their press conferences after games. So bigger events like this one, they moved to the 1899 auditorium. And as you can see, some journalists are buzzing around right now, hundreds of chairs set up. We'll be there live in a few minutes for Coutinho's press conference. And they're going to review all the things that we've done already today. He showed up at 8 o'clock in the morning at the Barcelona hospital to have some medical tests done. He then had some medical testing done, some football-related physical at the Ciutat Esportiva, the club's official training center, just about 10 minutes away in the Barcelona suburbs. He came back to Camp Nou, dressed in a dapper black suit with some nice cufflinks there, the open collar, very stylish, the 25-year-old Brazilian midfielder, as he sat down with FC Barcelona president Josep Maria Bartomeu to initial the margins and formalize that contract, which will have him in the Blaugrana for the rest of this season and for 5 full seasons more until the end of the 2022-23 season. That's June of 2023. He signed that contract. Then he went down to the field. He was in the locker room. He put on the Barça shirt, the Barça colors. He juggled the ball. Thousands of fans were in the grandstand. They came in. They didn't have to pay to get in, but they had to bear the cold. They had to wait in line. They had to come out on what is a work day, the first work and school day after the holidays here in Barcelona. So some people probably taking an extra vacation day to come out here to Barcelona, to FC Barcelona's field at Camp Nou to see the smiling Coutinho formally unveiled as a Barça player. Wonderful day here.
Muchas y buenas imágenes las que nos está dejando el día de hoy. Estamos recuperando algunas de ellas. Hemos visto la firma oficial del contrato con el presidente Josep Maria Bartomeu y también las palabras que comentó el presidente del club, explicando el fichaje del jugador. Estamos a punto de empezar la rueda de prensa oficial de esta presentación de Philippe Coutinho. Ahora mismo el jugador está visitando el vestuario y haciéndose ahí algunas fotos. Todo lo que no podráis ver ahora en directo a través de nuestra página web, a través de nuestros perfiles de Facebook y de YouTube. Lo podréis ver a lo largo de esta tarde, noche, mañana, depende de la zona donde estéis, en nuestro canal de YouTube, en nuestra página web, en nuestro Facebook, en nuestro Instagram. Ahí tendréis las mejores imágenes y algunas imágenes inéditas de lo que ha sucedido hoy en el Camp Nou. Nuestro cámara que está siguiendo, lo habéis visto antes en imagen, nuestro compañero Juan Cobo está siguiendo a Coutinho durante todo el día para hacer un contenido behind the scenes, para ver todo lo que ha pasado hoy en el Camp Nou, para escuchar otra vez a Coutinho y ver aquellas imágenes que no hemos podido ver. Por ejemplo, ahora Coutinho está en el vestuario, no podemos verlo en directo, pero lo podremos ver a lo largo del día en todas nuestras plataformas, como os he comentado, página web, YouTube, Facebook.
Right. If you're just joining us, it's about 2 p.m. Central European Time. It's 8 a.m. East Coast time in the United States. Thank you for following us. Thank you for joining us from both here in Barcelona and around the world. I'm Mike Toll with Jordi Abel. We're bringing to you live in English and in Spanish. Jordi is going to be commenting in Spanish. We've already been here for about an hour and a half, bringing all these live events to you today on the first full day of the official unveiling of Philippe Coutinho. He came to Barcelona. He landed here in the city on Saturday. His transfer from Liverpool was officially announced on Saturday. He arrived in the city. He flew in. He was here in Barcelona for the game yesterday. Barça beat Levante 3-0 at Camp Nou. Another La Liga victory to stay undefeated. He didn't watch the game from the stadium. It was a rainy, cold day. He watched it from his hotel. We've seen images of that. As we take a look at some other things, some other images of Barcelona's game yesterday against Levante. Coutinho watched the game from his hotel with friends and family, and after the game he came to Camp Nou for some photos and some videos. Regardless, everything that you're watching today, you'll be able to watch again on fcbarcelona.com and Barça Video, both in English and Spanish, and also several other languages, including Catalan, Arabic, Japanese, Chinese, etc., French, Portuguese too. And that will be just throughout today. There's going to be a full video of all the highlights of everything that has gone on today. So if you miss a couple seconds, if you have to get up and go to the bathroom and you miss something for a second, don't worry. We'll have it all for you throughout the day today, and of course throughout the coming days, because this is the big story so far this week. We're opening the week with this story as we see some of the highlights of yesterday's match. Barça winning 3-0. This looks like it's going to be the third goal here by Paulinho.
Imágenes de la victoria del Barça, imágenes de la victoria del partido de Liga disputado ayer en el Camp Nou. Barça 3, Levante 0. El partido que sirvió para que este hombre, Ousmane Dembélé, regresara al Camp Nou. Ya reapareció en el partido de la Copa del Rey del pasado jueves en el campo del Celta de Vigo, donde el Barça empató a un gol en el partido de ida de los octavos de final. Ayer Dembélé fue titular en la victoria del Barça contra el Levante. Buena actuación del francés, como comentaban estas palabras, cogiendo ritmo,
his first start,
cogiendo sensaciones.
Right, his first start since coming back from injury. He was injured back in September. He had only played a couple games with Barça after signing. He was the big signing of the year until now. So now he's going to have to take a little bit of a back seat. He was injured in September with a hamstring in a win, a game that we came back and won in Getafe with a goal from Paulinho late in the second half. Dembélé was back at the Ciutat Esportiva around November. He had surgery after getting injured, surgery in Finland. Then he came back to the Ciutat Esportiva. He was visible in November. By early December, he was taking part in training sessions, and he officially was medically cleared just after the new year. He came on in the second half of Barca's Copa del Rey draw at Celta last week, and he made his first start yesterday against Levante, so he looks to be 100% healthy. He looked pretty good yesterday out on the field, Dembélé. He was very fast. He had some very good shots on goal. He almost scored a goal, and we'll be looking forward to more action from him as Coutinho's honeymoon, because he's going to be 20 days with some discomfort in his thigh. So as Coutinho gets ready to play for Barça, Dembélé gets to make his way back as well. So the two big signings, protagonists right here. as we're just minutes away from the Felipe Coutinho press conference, which we will be bringing to you bilingually in Spanish and in English. Most of the questions and answers will be in Spanish, and I will try to summarize shortly what Felipe Coutinho has to say at the end of each response.
Faltan pocos minutos ya para que empiece esa rueda de prensa oficial de Felipe Coutinho ante los medios de comunicación. Le hemos escuchado ya hablando con el presidente José María Bartomeu, también con nuestro compañero de Barça TV, Marc Brau, en el césped del Camp Nou. Y mientras esperamos a la rueda de prensa oficial de Coutinho, vemos imágenes de otra victoria del Barça contra el otro Levante. Ayer, curiosamente, el Barça femenino jugó contra el Levante femenino, también en partido de Liga, y las Blaugrana, el equipo de Fran Sánchez, ganó por 5-0 contra el Levante.
Right here, across the street.
En el Ministadi jugaron a la 1, un rato antes. Los aficionados del Barça ayer pudieron disfrutar de Barça-Levante por partida doble. Primero con el equipo femenino, con esa victoria por 5-0, y luego con la victoria por 3-0 del primer equipo, el Barça femenino, que también acaba la primera vuelta como campeón de invierno, líder por tanto también en la primera división femenina y en la primera división masculina. Por tanto, buenas noticias para los dos equipos de la máxima categoría.
So the women's team won 5-0, the men's team won 3-0. So Barça 8, Levante 0 on Sunday, January 7th, 2018. Pretty good total score there. Pretty good aggregate.
Ahí vemos más imágenes de ese partido entre el Barça y el Levante, con Toni Dugan, la jugadora inglesa del Fútbol Club Barcelona. Toni Dugan, que es de Liverpool precisamente, y que por lo tanto también será... Suponemos
yeah, she came from Liverpool too.
Sí.
That's pretty crazy. So Luis Suarez came from Liverpool. Tony Duggan came from Liverpool. Coutinho from Liverpool. A nice little connection, Liverpool connection there.
Veremos si vemos esa imagen de Coutinho junto con Luis Suárez. Coincidieron durante media temporada en el Liverpool antes de que Luis Suárez se marchara precisamente al Fútbol Club Barcelona. También estuvo media temporada en la Liga Española, Coutinho en el Español.
Right, under Mauricio Pochettino.
Bajo las órdenes de Mauricio Pochettino, actual entrenador del Tottenham Hotspur de la Premier League. Media temporada, metió 6 goles, fue la sensación de aquel español en aquella media temporada, lo cual le valió para volver al Inter de Milán, de donde había salido cedido, y el Inter de Milán posteriormente lo vendió al Liverpool, dio el salto Coutinho a la Premier League, una Premier League donde ahora me fijaba que ha ido incrementando su cifra goleadora desde la temporada 2012-2013, 3 goles, 5 goles a 13-14, 5 goles 14-15, 8 goles la temporada 2015-2016.
I think
13 goles, perdona, la temporada pasada, y esta temporada, en media temporada, 6 goles, con lo cual una proyección casi de 12-15 goles, que para un centrocampista es muchísimo, Mike.
No. He's been remarkably consistent with his numbers, and what stands out the most for me is the number of different head coaches that he's had. He's had 15 different head coaches. I mean, some of them are going back into his developmental days when he was with the Vasco da Gama back in Brazil. But when we're talking about first-team top-flight head coaches in Europe, he's had several, not a lot of stability. And if you're a midfielder and working with different systems and different coaches and different strategies, but he's been consistent, Coutinho, which means that he's a learner. He likes to listen. He's coachable, and he does his best to improve, and he's so flexible and so versatile that he plays well under just about anybody. And if you look at some of the names who have coached him, he played for Rafa Benitez in Inter Milan. Benitez has coached several teams, including Liverpool. He was coached by Mauricio Pochettino at Espanyol, who's now with Tottenham, with the Hotspur. He was coached by Claudio Ranieri in Inter Milan. He was coached by Scolari with Brazil, who's been around the world and then some with club teams. He was coached by Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool, with Dunga in Brazil, with Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. These guys are some of the brightest minds of tactical football of the last 20 years. He's now going to be coached by Valverde. And it's just incredible with the different coaches. Not only one, with all these different great coaches and these minds, he must have picked up an encyclopedia of footballing strategy and information and knowledge over those years, and he's just 25. So his brain is still a sponge as far as learning is concerned, and he's been able to pick up tips and coaching strategies and tactics, and he's learned all sorts of things from all these excellent, great coaches who are very highly regarded. And on top of that, he's been able to do it and be consistent. So to come here with this team that he's going to have here at Barça and be surrounded by the players he's going to be with, and to be coached by Valverde, who's proven beyond any shadow of a doubt how brilliant he is as a tactician and as a coach, with the way he's used his lineups this year for Barça, enrolling to an undefeated team in the last 4 months. Barça, we haven't lost a game since the middle of August. This is almost unprecedented what Valverde's done. To see all this coming together, it's like watching an artist paint a picture, and we don't know what the final result's going to be, but it looks really, really good right now. And Valverde was just given another brush and another couple of colors to paint with. And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how the season plays out in these next several months through the late winter and the spring to see what kind of masterpiece, what kind of mural Valverde can come up with. And it looks pretty good right now.
Veremos lo que es capaz de aportar Coutinho al Fútbol Club Barcelona. Como decía Mike, un jugador que a pesar de sus 25 años atesora una gran experiencia en la liga inglesa, en la liga italiana, esa breve experiencia de la que hablábamos en la liga española, con entrenadores siempre de primer nivel como Ranieri, Scolari, Rodgers, Pochettino o Rafa Benítez, de los cuales seguramente habrá aprendido alguna cosa diferente de cada uno de ellos. Ahora Ernesto Valverde será el encargado de sacarle el máximo partido al jugador brasileño que, como ya nos ha comentado, ya escuchamos ayer y hemos escuchado hoy, está encantado de poder compartir terreno de juego con algunos de los mejores jugadores del mundo, con el mejor jugador de la historia, con Leo Messi, con Luis Suárez, con el que ya coincidió en el Liverpool. Y ahí vemos el otro partido en el cual Coutinho se ha enfrentado al FC Barcelona. Fue en la pretemporada 2016-2017 en la gira del Barça en los Estados Unidos. Liverpool 4, Barça 0. Con Coutinho allí le vemos haciendo de las suyas, partiendo desde la banda izquierda, creando peligro contra el Barça entonces de Luis Enrique. Ese es uno de los dos precedentes de Coutinho contra el Barça, el que decíamos con el Español en la temporada 2011-2012, jugó media hora en el Camp Nou. Pronto veremos también esas imágenes en nuestra página web.
I remember that game.
Fue la despedida de Pep Guardiola.
Yep.
Y Coutinho, que también jugó contra el Barça. Esas imágenes son de aquel día, en el verano del 2016. Insistimos, un Barça 0, Liverpool 4.
But that was a preseason game, so we lost 4-0.
No cuenta.
No. And I remember because I was in the United States for that game, and I was with family and friends. There were a lot of people at my house, and we put on the game. And they don't know much about soccer and all this. And they said, "Oh, you were Barcelona. They're pretty good." And I said, "Good. We're the best team in the world." And Liverpool put up 4 against us. And the people were looking at me like I was crazy. And I said, "Oh, it's a preseason game. It doesn't count. It doesn't count." But we had a pretty good season after that anyway. But that game was a little bit of an outlier. That 4-0 game.
Ahí vemos a Coutinho con Luis Suárez, con la hija de Coutinho. Y otra imagen que hemos extraído de sus redes sociales, compartiendo su afición por los videojuegos. Coutinho con el Liverpool, Luis Suárez con el FC Barcelona.
I'm going to have to get the update. But we're going to have to switch. Coutinho, when's that going to come out? Can't wait for that. I think my kids are already going to want to go with Coutinho, but they're going to be disappointed because they won't be able to get him with Barça quite yet.
Un Luis Suárez al cual veíamos con Coutinho y que ayer superó a la marca goleadora con el Barça de este hombre, de Samuel Eto'o. Y que también coincidió Eto'o con Philippe Coutinho. Ahí vemos jugadores que han coincidido con el centrocampista brasileño. Eto'o coincidió con Coutinho en el Inter. También este hombre, Mario Balotelli. Steven Gerrard, una de las leyendas recientes del Liverpool, fue compañero de Coutinho en el conjunto inglés también durante muchas temporadas, jugadores de los cuales seguro que habrá aprendido muchas cosas el centrocampista brasileño. También Diego Forlán, otro compañero en el Inter de Milán, el 2 veces Pichichi de la Liga Española, otro compañero de equipo de Coutinho y que también conoce evidentemente a Luis Suárez porque han sido compañeros en la selección uruguaya durante mucho tiempo. Iago Aspas también fue compañero de Coutinho en el Liverpool. El jugador gallego, ahora en el Celta de Vigo, también estuvo en el Liverpool durante una temporada. Y Pepe Reina, que también jugó en el Liverpool, el exportero del Fútbol Club Barcelona, ahora en las filas del Nápoles de la Liga Italiana, otro de los jugadores que coincidió con Coutinho, en este caso en el Liverpool. Algunas curiosidades, algunos de los jugadores que han coincidido con Coutinho a lo largo de su carrera.
Well, we've just learned that moments ago, as you saw, the people were out in the grandstand here at Camp Nou to see Coutinho juggle the ball for a few minutes with a couple photos. And I said, wow, there's a lot of people here. It must be 4,000 people. It must be 4,000 people. Well, I was way off. 7,436 people showed up on a work day, on a school day, at midday, at lunchtime in Barcelona in January. If that,
Mucha gente.
yeah, that's pretty remarkable. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Muchísima gente, muchísima expectación la que ha generado la llegada y la presentación de Philippe Coutinho con el Fútbol Club Barcelona que estamos viviendo ahora mismo en directo aquí en los canales oficiales del club, en la página web, en Facebook Live, en YouTube Live, el acto de presentación de Coutinho que aún no ha finalizado. Aún no nos dejéis porque en nada, en minutos, está a punto de empezar la rueda de prensa oficial de Coutinho con los medios de comunicación, la rueda de prensa abierta a los medios de comunicación. Ya le hemos escuchado antes unas breves palabras con los medios oficiales del club, también con el presidente Josep María Bartomeu, un breve discurso del brasileño. También lo escuchamos ayer brevemente en el Camp Nou, en el momento en el que se hizo la fotografía oficial, pero ahora será cuando realmente podamos escuchar ampliamente al jugador brasileño, preguntas sobre por qué ha venido al Barça, sobre los jugadores brasileños que han estado en el club, sobre su experiencia en la Premier League, sobre su experiencia con la selección brasileña, y le vemos con el brazalete de capitán, un jugador que a pesar de su corta edad, que son 25 años, ya ha disputado muchísimos partidos con la selección brasileña. Ahí le vemos marcando incluso con la selección contra la selección argentina, un jugador importantísimo para la selección brasileña y que será importantísimo en el próximo Mundial.
Right.
De ahí también que el Barça haya querido acelerar ese fichaje en el mes de enero porque se exponía a que durante el Mundial subiese su cotización y que aún pudiese costar más dinero del que se ha tenido que pagar. Un traspaso muy importante para un jugador muy importante. El Barça ha querido ejecutar ya esa opción en el mes de enero y no esperar al mes de junio, julio, cuando Coutinho sin duda será una de las atracciones de la selección brasileña en el Mundial de Rusia.
Right. Everybody knows, and it's no secret that we've been trying to, and I mean Barça, been trying to land Coutinho for months now. He's always been a guy that Barça thought would fit well. They knew that his contract was coming to an end with Liverpool at some point. We tried to get him last summer around the time that Neymar was leaving, but we couldn't quite come to an agreement with Liverpool. They were talking about a lot of money. They didn't quite make the deal. Everybody knew that Coutinho really wanted to come to Barça. Ronaldinho was one of his idols, as were several other Barça players. He grew up watching FC Barcelona stars. He was born in 1992, so the golden age of FC Barcelona has coincided with the youthful growth and development of Coutinho.
Más imágenes estamos viendo de Coutinho. Estas, Mike, corresponden a un partido, las hemos rescatado de nuestro archivo, un partido del año 2010, un amistoso entre Brasil y el Barça B. Esto es el equipo filial del Barça y Coutinho jugó con la selección brasileña en un partido amistoso, un partido de preparación, en la Ciudad Deportiva del Barça. Alguno habrá visto en esa imagen a Dani Alves. Estaba también Dani Alves en esa selección brasileña y Coutinho se enfrentó al filial del Barça en este caso. En el año 2010 era un partido amistoso, por eso no lo he contado antes como partido en el cual se enfrentó al primer equipo del Barça.
So in 2010, the Brazil national team played the Barça B team in a friendly at the Ciudad Deportiva, and Coutinho played for that team, and so did Dani Alves.
Exactly.
And how did the game end?
I think it was 0-0. 0-0.
0-0.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, a lot of people talk to a lot of people in the United States. When you're thinking about Barça B team, it's the reserve team. Some of the players come up and suit up for the first team throughout the season. Jose Arnaiz is one of the guys that has done it, and he's actually scored a few goals this year. Carlos Aleñá has had several appearances for Barça. Years ago, guys like Sergio Busquets and Pedro and some other guys came right up and fit right in. But it's a reserve team. It's the equivalent of like a AAA team in baseball in the United States. It's a second team. It's a farm team, but the level is really, really high. So the fact that they were able to play 0-0 with the Brazil national team back in 2010 doesn't really surprise me at all. The level is extremely high, not just for FC Barcelona, but for the reserve team as well.
Más
As we see,
imágenes.
yeah, these are images from
Imágenes que no hemos visto aún, en el vestuario.
within the last hour. These are not live because he's getting ready for the press conference right now. But within the last hour, before he went out to the field to juggle the ball, he put on the Nikes. He's sponsored by Nike. That's why he's going to wear the Nike shoes, the rest of the Barcelona uniform, of course, with this year's new sponsor, the first season with Rakuten, the Japanese e-commerce website and retailer. And there he's juggling the ball with the spikes in the locker room. This was about an hour ago before he went up to the field to do the same thing in front of the, again, 7,436 spectators who turned out today on a school day, a work day, a cold day, early in 2018 to see the signing of the year and probably the signing of the last couple of years, Phil Coutinho.
Primeras imágenes del brasileño en el vestuario del Fútbol Club Barcelona, en el vestuario, en este caso del Camp Nou. A partir de los próximos días visitará ya el estadio de la Ciutat Esportiva, donde el Barça realiza sus entrenamientos. Pero hoy ya le hemos visto pisar el vestuario del Camp Nou, ver las taquillas de los que serán a partir de ahora sus compañeros, de Leo Messi, de Luis Suárez, de Gerard Piqué, Andrés Iniesta y compañía. También ha hecho ya unos primeros toques de balón. Coutinho, recordemos, 25 años, nacido el 12 de junio del 1992 en Río de Janeiro, en Brasil. Firma por lo que resta de temporada y 5 más, es decir, hasta el mes de junio del año 2023, y tendrá una cláusula de rescisión de 400 millones de euros. Como decía Mike, el traspaso del año, porque el 2018 acaba de empezar. De momento es el traspaso del año. Veremos si hay otro más importante en el fútbol mundial. Será muy difícil que supere.
Right, well, the winter transfer window has just opened. It's open until the end of January.
Ha sido el primer traspaso del año, pero puede ser perfectamente el traspaso más caro, más importante y más destacado, tanto en el mercado de invierno como en el próximo mercado de verano. Ya lo veremos.
Well, a lot of people were speculating. We tried to get him last summer in the transfer window, and a lot of people were speculating in recent days about whether this transfer was going to happen now or whether it was going to happen after the season. I mean, it's no secret. He wanted to come here. We wanted him. It was just a matter of lining up the numbers between Barça and Liverpool to make it happen, because clubs usually don't try to keep a player from leaving. If the player wants to leave, we let them leave. We try to make a deal. He really wanted to be here, but he has already played for Liverpool this season in the Champions League. They're doing well this season in their competitions, and he was supposed to be a key player for them in both the Premier League and the Champions League throughout the rest of the season. And because he can't play here in the Champions League, a lot of people said, hey, well, why are we getting him? Because, you know, we really need a player like him to help us get through into the quarterfinals and the semifinals of the Champions League. He's not going to be able to do that. So was the transfer going to happen in the summer window or now? It happened now. He wanted to be here. It happened now. It's early in 2018. The deal is done. He's going to be 20 weeks recovering from a thigh injury, which he brought with him from Liverpool. It's nothing serious, but everybody's really excited. And who knows, but there could be more going on in the transfer window for both Barcelona and Liverpool, as it could be for any other team. We're not going to speculate as to what they might be, but there's plenty of time for things to get done for other teams. People are still moving around. And again, there will be movements after the season. I'm really excited for this spring.
Podría haber llegado el próximo verano, podría haber llegado el verano pasado. Como dice Mike, mucha gente se pregunta por qué el Barça ejecuta ahora este fichaje en el mes de enero. Era un jugador que el Barça seguía desde hacía tiempo, era un jugador prioritario para la dirección deportiva, un jugador al que Ernesto Valverde también quería tener en su equipo.
Well, who wouldn't? I mean, they had a chance to sign him now. You know, it's like a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. You know, even if you can guarantee that you're going to get Coutinho in the summertime, but you can guarantee that you can get him now, you get him now. Okay, so you can't use him in the Champions League? No big deal. We've got a really potent, powerful team. He's going to be here for 5 more years after this one, 5 more seasons. There's plenty of time to win, but the important thing was to get this deal done. Josep Maria Bartomeu said as much earlier in his press conference when he made a few statements. We may have some more answers with regard to that in the press conference coming up in just a few minutes. But Barça really wanted to make this deal done. They really tried to get it. It went down to the very last minute of the transfer window in the summertime. They couldn't quite get it done. Everybody knew it. And so now the opportunity, they pull the trigger, they bring in Coutinho, and I think that the mood is happier in Barcelona today.
El jugador tendrá un tiempo de adaptación más grande para la próxima temporada. Jugará ya esta temporada en Liga y en Copa del Rey. Y en realidad, si el Barça quería también firmar al jugador el próximo verano, no tiene por qué no hacerlo en enero si tiene la oportunidad. Evidentemente el precio de traspaso será muy similar y el Barça se asegura ya el jugador en su equipo, insistimos, antes del Mundial con la selección brasileña. Dará descanso a jugadores de cara a la Liga de Campeones porque él podrá jugar tanto en Liga como en Copa del Rey. Y en cualquier caso en verano ya estará adaptado, ya llevará medio año en el FC Barcelona, ya conocerá a sus compañeros y podrá empezar la pretemporada en plenas condiciones. De otra forma, si el fichaje se hubiera realizado durante el próximo verano, quizás Coutinho no hubiera podido completar la pretemporada entera, no hubiera podido viajar a una posible gira si es que la hay, hubiera llegado con la pretemporada en marcha. No es una situación que guste a los entrenadores incorporar a jugadores al final del mercado de fichajes.
Well, right, and you always risk going on. You wait another 6 months to sign this guy.
Se puede lesionar.
There could be he could have an injury with Liverpool. There could be other suitors. I think Bartomeu said that a couple minutes ago. He said that there were other teams interested right now. That's why they wanted to get him. They didn't want to leave him out there on the table. The longer he stays out there, the more teams that can be interested. Maybe they drive the price up. The best thing was to get him here. They got him. That's wonderful news for Barca fans everywhere. There were rumors that this deal was going to happen throughout the last couple of weeks since Barca won El Clásico in Madrid just before Christmas on December 23rd, which was a huge piece of news. The team was off for a couple of weeks. They only had a couple training sessions after that around the Christmas holidays. And the newspapers in Spain, the sports dailies, which are notoriously filled with transfer rumors, not just during the transfer period, but throughout the year, they were talking about Coutinho regularly the last few days, and in coffee shops and bars and restaurants throughout Barcelona, where you could see a folded up newspaper up on the bar of one of the several Spanish sports dailies that constantly delve into these possible transfers. Coutinho was always front page, and today it's finally happened, as we can see in one of the big ones, Mundo Deportivo, which is one of the big ones here in Barcelona, but it's circulated throughout Spain. Coutinho on the front, the Barca jacket zipped up with his thumbs up, giving the okay. It says Coutinho is wearing the Blaugrana within in quotes, es un sueño, it's a dream. It's just incredible to know that I'm going to be able to be alongside my idols like Messi, Luis Suarez, Gerard Piqué, Andres Iniesta, and Sergio Busquets. I hope to win a lot of titles along with these guys, and that is the top story. And I think you can walk into any coffee shop and you can walk into anybody, and people are talking about Barca today and Coutinho. Another one of the big news, of course, Barca are now 16 points ahead of Real Madrid in La Liga. Barca won 3-0 against Levante yesterday to pick up 3 points. It was a 17-point lead provisionally, but Real Madrid went on the road to Celta, who curiously tied Barca last week, and Barca has to face again this week in the Copa del Rey, back-to-back home-and-home games in the Copa del Rey last 16. And you might have thought that Celta would have rested some players and taken their foot off the gas against Real Madrid to save energy for the Barca game this week and to recover from the Barca game last week. They did not. They drew 2-2. Celta picked up a huge point in La Liga for them. Anytime you can pick up a point against Real Madrid, you take it, whether it's home or on the road. They were playing at home in Balaidos, in Vigo, up in Galicia, Spain. It's cold, it's wet, it's humid up here this time of year, and Real Madrid couldn't muster anything other than a 2-2 draw, which saw them drop 2 more points. They are now 16 behind FC Barcelona. They're in 4th place in La Liga. They're outside.
One game less.
They have 1 game less. They haven't played. They have a game in hand from their participation in the Club World Cup. So theoretically, they could drop them to 13 now, but that game's not going to be played yet. It's going to be played in the coming weeks or the coming months. I'm not quite sure of the date of that yet, but they do have a game to play. Barca was in a similar situation at some point. Real Madrid had a game to play at some point, but psychologically speaking, you're 16 points behind Barca. You're in 4th place in La Liga. As we get close, there's Coutinho. He's up there on the days as we get ready with Jordi Mestre, the FC Barcelona vice president of the sports area. He's there with Philippe Coutinho holding up the shirt. I wonder if that's the same shirt that he stamped himself in the Barça store.
Podría ser la misma camiseta que estampó Coutinho en la tienda. A punto ya para empezar esa rueda de prensa oficial. Coutinho, futbolista del Barça, con Jordi Mestre, vicepresidente del área deportiva. Rueda de prensa abierta con los medios de comunicación.
The majority of questions and answers here, we just want to remind our listeners out there, will be in Spanish. He's Brazilian, speaks Brazilian Portuguese, also speaks Spanish a little bit. So I think that the journalists are going to stray away from Catalan. Normally the local journalists would ask questions in Catalan, even to a Spanish player, and to respond in Spanish. Probably they'll go with Spanish. Of course, there will be journalists from all around the world. There might be an English question. There might be a Portuguese question. We're going to try to bring everything to you and let him answer in Spanish, and I'll try to summarize in English so that both our listeners in Spanish and English out there can get a sense of what Coutinho has to say here at his inaugural press conference as an FC Barcelona player.
Muito obrigado por estar aquí e benvindo a Barcelona. Felip va néixer el 12 de juny del 1992 a Rio de Janeiro, té per tant 25 anys i amb aquesta data arriba procedent del Liverpool, un dels equips històrics del futbol europeu. Allà, per exemple, va coincidir amb Luis Suárez, un jugador ara a les files del Barça amb qui ara es retrobarà. Començarem la presentació donant en primer lloc la paraula al vicepresident de l'àrea esportiva, el senyor Jordi Mestre, que ens donarà detalls d'aquest fitxatge.
Jordi Mestre, the vice president of sports,
Bona tarda, benvinguts i bon any.
will
És la primera roda de premsa fem...
have some words first.
Bé,
Good afternoon.
Com deia aquí la presentadora, avui per nosaltres és un gran dia.
Today is a big day for us,
Quan dic nosaltres, jo crec que és per tot el club i els culers.
for the club, and for Barca fans around the world.
Avui presentem a Felipe.
We are unveiling Felipe today. Welcome.
Els equips on ha estat jugant el Felipe ha sigut el Vasco de Gama del 2008 al 2010.
He previously played at Vasco da Gama,
Del 10 al 13,
Inter de Milan from 2010 to 2013,
durant uns mesos de l'11
on loan at Espanyol,
i arriba
2011-12,
en quant a títols,
and Liverpool since then.
Lliga Brasileira de la Sèrie B del 2008 al 2009,
He won
el 2010-2011, la Copa d'Itàlia el 10 i el 11
several titles
i el Mundial Sub-20 el 2011.
at all of the teams he was at.
Bienvenido. Sabemos que has hecho un gran esfuerzo tanto personal
Welcome, Felipe. Thank you for your effort in wanting to be here.
jugar aquí era un sueño y yo te puedo garantizar que durante estos últimos meses nosotros hemos soñado en que tú vinieses a jugar.
It's not just a dream for you, it's a dream for us.
Te deseamos lo mejor, que es lo mejor para todos.
We wish you the best of luck.
A partir d'aquí
Gràcies, senyor mestre. Felipe, que ha firmat per el que resta d'aquesta temporada aquests 5 anys més, per tant, serà blaugrana fins al 2023. Ara de seguida l'escoltarem, però abans
He will be here until 2023
algunes de les accions d'aquest migcampista.
with a 5-year contract plus the rest of the
Una
season.
vocació ofensiva.
And we'll take a look at a video showing his offensive skills. Highlighting his offensive skills.
Ara arriba.
most of these videos we've seen throughout the presentation today. As we've said, he's a 25-year-old attacking midfielder. He stands at 5'7", 158 pounds, and has come to FC Barcelona from Liverpool. And his play is characterized by his versatility, both in the midfield, left and right positions, and the attacking midfield positions, as well as on the wing.
Aplausos para ese vídeo de presentación de Philippe Coutinho, jugando con el Liverpool, jugando con la selección brasileña. Coutinho rodeado de su familia, también de la directiva, de la Junta Directiva del FC Barcelona y de los cientos de periodistas acreditados para esta rueda de prensa oficial que está a punto de empezar, y Coutinho que ya se expone a las preguntas de los periodistas y de nuestro club.
Bueno, voy a intentar hablar en español. Muy feliz, muy contento. Como he dicho antes, la realización de un sueño. Y claro, hoy llego aquí gracias a mucha gente, primeramente a Dios, mi familia, mis padres, mi esposa, mi hija, que están siempre conmigo en todos los momentos. Quería agradecer también a todos los esfuerzos de Barcelona, del presidente, de todos los dirigentes. Yo sé que fue un poco... tuvieron mucha paciencia y quería agradecer esto también. Agradecer, claro, a Liverpool por los 5 años que yo pasé ahí, a los dirigentes, a Mike Gordon, que entendió bien lo que yo quería, que era mi sueño. Ellos, puedo decir que intentaron mucho que yo me quedara, pero entendieron bien que era mi sueño venir acá, y a los fans de ahí que vivimos 5 años juntos. Entonces ahora llegamos aquí, estamos muy felices, una casa nueva.
Gràcies, Felipe. Ara començarem el...
Just to summarize, Philippe Coutinho just said he wanted to thank everybody. He's living a dream. Especially he wanted to thank God, his family, the people of Barcelona, the president of the club, and the directors for their patience. He also thanked Liverpool, the club, some of the directors, for the 5 years that he's been there, as well as the fans for understanding that it was his dream to come to FC Barcelona.
Dieu el vostre nom i escolliu el protagonista, o bé Philippe Coutinho, o bé el vicepresident Jordi Mestre. La roda de premsa durarà, per qüestions d'agenda, uns 20 minuts i posarem el punt final. Moltes gràcies.
There will be one question per journalist, and the press conference will last approximately 20 minutes.
Hola Felipe, aquí. Ángels Prieto para Barça TV, bienvenido.
Gracias.
Ayer te vimos ya viendo en el hotel el partido de tus nuevos compañeros. Hoy te has encontrado ya con alguno en la ciudad deportiva, como Rafinha o Paco Alcácer. ¿Te han dicho alguna cosa ya? ¿Cómo han sido estas primeras horas ya como blaugrana?
Sí, he visto el partido ayer en el hotel. Hoy hemos ido a la ciudad deportiva, he encontrado algunos jugadores, ya nos saludamos y me enseñaron un poco del campo donde entrenamos, yo vi donde comemos y todo más, conocí un poco ahí y nada, estoy muy ansioso para que ya empiece todo.
They asked him about his first few hours here at Barcelona. He explained that he watched the game yesterday from his hotel and that today he was at the Ciutat Esportiva, the team's training center, where he met some of the players and was showed around where they train, where they eat. And he's just anxious to get going.
Aquí al fons, Marta Ramon, de RAC1. La meva primera pregunta seria per Jordi Mestre, el vicepresident esportiu. A mi m'agradaria saber, perquè a l'estiu Albert Soler va dir que no es podria fitxar Coutinho, no es podia fitxar Coutinho perquè el club no volia entrar al joc d'un mercat inflacionat, que seria fins i tot irresponsable. Ara es pagaran uns 160 milions d'euros, si vostè no em desmenteix. Què ha canviat econòmicament al club des de l'estiu ara perquè es pugui fer aquest fitxatge?
The question is, why did FC Barcelona say that they didn't want to get into a bidding war for players, and now they're paying what's a reported 160 million euros? What changed between the August transfer period and this one to bring Coutinho to Barcelona? There was a reduction in the conditions, explains the director.
Per desig del Liverpool no podem facilitar les dades, les xifres, però sí que el que podem dir és que hi ha hagut una rebaixa.
And we can't talk about the exact numbers because of the agreement with Liverpool, but there was an important reduction in the cost of this transfer.
El club es pot permetre més inversions? S'ha parlat de Yerry Mina, de Griezmann. Acabaran arribant també aquests jugadors?
Question, will the club be able to invest further in players given the cost of this transfer? We can't talk about who may come in or who may leave, but we're here to talk about Felipe, and we expect these questions to be about him, but we are continuing to work, and we'll see what happens with future contracts.
Alfredo Martínez, Onda Cero. Has tenido la suerte de jugar con dos de los que considera todo el mundo mejores jugadores de los últimos tiempos, como son Neymar y Leo Messi. Me gustaría que hicieras, no sé si una comparativa y si consideras que puede ser un futbolista capaz de hacer olvidar lo que significó Neymar en el Barça. Gracias.
Bueno, son dos grandísimos jugadores. Yo no necesito hablar esto. Yo juego con Neymar en la selección y fuimos amigos, somos amigos desde de niños y bueno, y Messi lo voy a conocer ahora, es un grandísimo jugador, estoy muy contento y para mí es un honor también poder decir que voy a jugar a su lado como de los otros compañeros y nada, son dos grandes jugadores y tengo la suerte de poder dividir esto y jugar con ellos.
The question was asking him to compare Neymar and Messi since he's played with Neymar. And Coutinho said that, well, he was friends with Neymar since he was a kid. And that he'll meet Messi soon, that they are two great players. And that's it. And then the follow-up question was asking if Coutinho, can make the Barça fans forget about Neymar.
Aquí en directo para Radio Marca, Carlos Escolán, ¿qué tal?
And he said he's not here to do that. He just wants to play well for the fans.
La mayoría de partidos de Copa, pero supongo que tus ganas de venir aquí, aunque sea para jugar 15 partidos en el tramo final de temporada, han podido más, ¿no? que tus condiciones para poder jugar y te servirán para adaptarte estos meses.
Sí, como tú has dicho, mi sueño era venir aquí y tener una oportunidad de esta, a veces es única, entonces yo no he tenido dudas y claro, el contrato que tengo son 5 años, no voy a poder jugar ahora, pero espero que en los 5 años que yo esté aquí podamos jugar y disfrutar mucho. ¿Y cuál fue la otra pregunta que yo me olvidé?
Si te servirá para adaptarte estos meses, que en el Barça a veces cuesta.
Sí, yo he jugado ya el campeonato, la liga, y espero poder me adaptar lo más rápido posible con los compañeros y todo más.
Hola, Felipe.
The question was about him not being able to play immediately for Barça and his period of adaptation. He said it was always a dream to come to Barça. It's a unique opportunity, and he hopes that the contract is for 5 years, and he hopes that he'll be able to play plenty over that time.
Un gran honor. Como he dicho repetidamente, es un sueño estar aquí, entonces escuchar esto es un honor, pero el tema sobre dinero es un tema que yo entiendo es entre los clubes. Yo tengo mis objetivos, que es llegar aquí, ser feliz, ganar títulos, disfrutar, entonces este es solo mi pensamiento.
Coutinho once again stated there was an honor and a dream, that the question of money was between the clubs, and that he's just here to win and be happy.
Ya se intentó tu fichaje en verano, finalmente el Liverpool no te dejó salir, ahora sí que se ha concretado por fin tu operación. ¿Cómo has vivido estos 6 meses? Y no sé si has sufrido mucho.
intentaron de todo. Tengo que agradecer porque entendieron bien lo que era mi sueño, lo que quería yo, mi familia, y esto tengo que agradecer a ellos porque fueron hombres de palabra conmigo y bueno, pasé 6 meses ahí jugando, dando siempre mi máximo, siendo profesional como siempre fui y nada, ahora llegó el momento de llegar aquí.
The question was how he lived the last 6 months since the first rumors that he was going to come to Barcelona until now. And he said he was always clear from the very beginning. He wanted to thank everyone who understood what his desires were, and especially those at Liverpool who kept their word about him. And now he's just ready to get playing again.
É verdade, está todo mundo muito feliz. Esse tema também ajuda o Vasco, que é um clube que eu tenho do coração no Brasil. Então, acredito que eles devem estar felizes por mim, por isso também. E nada, também fico feliz por eles. Espero que eles possam ser ajudados também.
Habla Coutinho de que habrá una pequeña compensación económica para el Vasco da Gama, que es su club de origen de Brasil, y en la contratación habrá algún tipo de compensación económica para el Vasco da Gama y estará contento por ello.
Right, he quickly mentioned the financial links that will be relevant with his former club, Vasco da Gama, which he played for when he was a kid, and he said he was very happy to be here at Barça and happy for Vasco da Gama.
The years I lived in there, for sure I gave everything I could. Unfortunately, we couldn't win, but I lived 5 years. My family was very happy in there, so I just would like to thank you then and wish all the best for them.
Habla Coutinho de la etapa en la que estuvo en el Liverpool, muy contento de esas 5 temporadas, aunque no ha podido ganar ningún título importante, pero su familia y él han estado muy a gusto en esa etapa en el Liverpool, en la Premier League, y solo tiene palabras de agradecimiento para el Liverpool.
En la española también probaste con el español y ahora la vas a jugar y por supuesto vienes de la Premier. ¿Cuál crees que es de las 3 la más potente y la que mejor se adapta a tu juego? Muchas gracias.
Bueno, todos son campeonatos muy difíciles. Cada país con sus características. Acá creo que es muy parecido con Inglaterra porque es un juego intenso. Inglaterra hoy se juega así también, intenso. Los equipos intentan jugar y claro, yo llego aquí a esta liga, yo he jugado, como tú has dicho, 5 meses y espero poderme adaptar lo más rápido posible y ser muy feliz aquí.
Coutinho was just asked about his experience in Italy, England, and Spain, and which one he thinks is the most difficult. And he said, well, they're all difficult, and they all have different characteristics, these leagues in these countries. I think that Spain is very intense, like the English Premier League, and I'm just very happy and looking forward to playing here.
270 millones de euros era una responsabilidad y que tendría que presentar la dimisión. Ha explicado hace un momento que el Liverpool ha rebajado las pretensiones, pero se habla de una operación de entre 120 y 160 millones de euros contando parte fija y variable, y contando con Dembélé se iría a los casi 300 millones. Me gustaría saber si Alberto le ha presentado ya la dimisión o cómo se valora en el club el hecho de que 3 meses después y el por qué 3 meses después sí que se cumple con esta operación. Gracias.
Bueno, a mí no me consta que la haya presentado, ¿no? Pero en cualquier caso, como he dicho antes, no podemos hablar de condiciones ni de cifras, pero sí que la rebaja ha sido lo suficientemente importante como para poder optar a estos fichajes, ¿no? Lo importante es que los tenemos con nosotros. Nuestra obligación como Junta, ¿cuál es? Si la Secretaría y los ejecutivos técnicos nos piden un jugador o jugadores y el máximo ejecutivo del club, que es Óscar Grau, dice que económicamente lo podemos soportar, pues digamos que la solución es fácil, ¿no?
It was another question from the journalist about Barca spending the money on this player that 5 months ago was considered to be too much. Now they are spending it, even though what he said was a reduction in cost. And the response was that they're not going to discuss the numbers. The numbers are between the two clubs. But the important thing is that we have the players here.
Me felicitó ayer cuando él subo y y me dijo de la ciudad, de los compañeros, que tenía un vestuario increíble. Y claro, esto también ya me lo decía Paulinho, Luis, entonces seguramente espero ser muy contento aquí.
The question was about whether he had spoken to Neymar, and he said, of course, he had spoken to Neymar. And Neymar had nothing but good things to say about both the team, the city, and the dressing room at FC Barcelona. And he also spoke to Luis Suarez and Paulinho, who also had nothing but good things to say.
Un poco difícil porque a cada momento cambiaba. Cambiamos el vuelo como 3, 4 veces y bueno, al final cuando llegamos aquí, que pudo ver que estábamos aquí de verdad, cuando llegamos y ahí que empecé a darme cuenta. Creo que todavía no me di cuenta porque no empecé a entrenar, pero cuando esté con los jugadores ahí empezará todo.
The question was about the announcement of him signing with the club and what it feels like. And he said it basically feels great, but that it'll feel really great and it'll really settle in and he'll really understand what it's like when he starts to get out there in the field and training and playing with his teammates.
When the pictures were released of the Nike shirt, the Barcelona shirt, with your name on it at the start of the year, did that cause you any problems? Did that cause you any issues?
Can I speak in Portuguese?
Of course.
Thank you. Sim, a última conversa que tive com o Klopp foi agradecendo a palavra que eles mantiveram comigo. Eles tentaram de todas as formas, como falei, mas no final eles entenderam que era o meu sonho e, claro, chegar aí e dizer isso foram momentos difíceis, mas acho que todo mundo entendeu e saiu tudo bem. E the second question I didn't hear. Can you ask again, please?
So I just wanted to ask about the shirt because there were pictures released on the Nike website at the start of the year, announcing your arrival at the club before the transfer had been agreed.
Olha, sobre isso eu prefiro não falar muito. Sim, foi um problema, mas creio que está tudo resolvido. Creio que tudo resolveu e o mais importante é que eu estou aqui agora e feliz.
Was a question about how he feels to have left Liverpool, and then another question about the Nike shirt pictures that showed him in a Barça shirt, and he said that that's in the past, and he's just happy to be here. And he also wanted to reiterate his thanks to Liverpool for the people there for understanding what were his dreams, and it made it possible for him to be here right now with Barça. Another question about the money. And the response is that if I reveal numbers, I'll be breaking our agreement with Liverpool.
Por acá, Felipe. Por acá, al medio. Aquí, mira. Por acá. Enzo Olivera para la televisión de Uruguay. Me gustaría preguntarte por qué tanto pesó la opinión que en algún momento seguramente te dio Luis Suárez y qué sentís de volver a jugar con él. Pasaron gratos momentos en el Liverpool, en Inglaterra. Gracias.
Sí, estoy muy contento también por esto, por volver a jugar con Luis, que es un grandísimo jugador. Y hemos coincidido en el Liverpool y estoy muy feliz de poder volver a estar junto con él. Y claro, él me escribía mucho, hasta vio un poco de casa para mí. Me ayudó un poco en este tema, pero es un amigo muy próximo que tenemos y estamos muy contentos.
The question was about what it feels like to be with Luis Suarez and whether he had talked to him. And he said he's very happy to play again with Luis Suarez, that Suarez is one of his very good friends, and that he wrote a lot of messages to him, trying to convince him and tell him how great it was.
Looking for a house also.
Looking for a house too.
Last month. Yeah. Here in Barcelona.
¿Qué te parece que el Madrid está a 16 y si tú crees que y ya se le puede sacar de la circulación de la liga esta temporada.
No, yo creo que la liga es un campeonato muy difícil y claro, el campeonato es largo, todavía no terminó nada. Yo hablando ya como jugador del Barça, tenemos que estar concentrados en cada partido y para que esta distancia se continúe y podemos al final lograr campeón.
The question was about Real Madrid being 16 points behind Barça in the league standings, and Coutinho said, well, the La Liga season is very difficult, and he and his teammates in Barça has to just focus on taking it one game at a time.
Hola Felipe, Pete Jensen, Daily Mail. Casi ganaste una liga con Luis Suárez en Inglaterra. ¿Cómo es la relación entre los dos? Y si él te ayudó durante estos meses de esperar y no saber si al final ibas a llegar aquí.
Sí, es verdad, tuvimos una época muy buena esta que casi ganamos la Premier. Fueron momentos buenos y como he dicho, es un gran amigo, es un honor poder volver a jugar con él y sí, me ha ayudado, me escribía mucho, hablábamos siempre, me contaba un poco cómo era la ciudad, cómo era el club y esto cada vez me daba más ganas de venir.
He was asked again about his relationship with Luis Suarez. He said, yes, we almost won the Premier League together. It was a great time. He's a very good friend of mine. He called me and wrote me a lot of messages to tell me a lot about the city and the club and made me want to come here even more.
Muchas posiciones de ataque. Sobre el papel, te imaginamos en la posición habitual de Iniesta, de interior izquierdo, de extremo izquierdo, incluso de media punta. ¿Tú dónde crees que puedes ser más útil para este Barça?
Tú hablaste de Iniesta. Iniesta para mí es un genio y esto también para mí es un gran honor poder convivir con él, aprender con él. Y claro, hablando de posiciones, yo lo que más me gusta es estar ahí con el grupo, poder jugar. Esto es una cuestión del entrenador, cómo prefiere, cómo quiere el equipo. Lo que hago yo es trabajar siempre muy duro, muy fuerte para que esté a disposición y hacer bien cuando esté en el campo.
The question was about what position he sees himself in. And another question about Iniesta. He said, Iniesta is a genius. But as far as play is concerned, that's the coach's decision. I'm just here to work hard and do what I can to help the team.
¿Te has imaginado, cuántas veces te has imaginado saltar ya en el césped del Camp Nou vestido de azulgrana? Y sobre todo esto en la posición, si te gusta más ser asociativo al lado de Iniesta, de Busquets o más aprovechando tu velocidad. Gracias.
¿Cuál fue la primera pregunta? Si me he imaginado.
¿Cuántas veces has soñado en saltar el vestido de azulgrana al Camp Nou?
Muchísimas veces. He soñado marcar un gol acá, marcar el primer gol, marcar goles importantes, ganar los partidos. He soñado muchas veces en vestir esa camiseta y bueno, no veo la hora de poder empezar a entrenar y estar a disposición. Y hablando de posición, como he dicho en la respuesta anterior, yo lo que me gusta, lo que me hace feliz es jugar, hacer bien, hacer las personas felices en el campo. Y esto de posiciones, esto es más para el entrenador, lo que quiere él, lo que necesita él. Y mi trabajo es estar siempre bien para estar a disposición y cuando tenga mi momento ayudar al equipo.
Coutinho was asked how many times he dreamt of jumping out onto the field at Camp Nou dressed in Blaugrana. He said many times. It's been a long-time dream of mine, not just to play, but to score goals, big goals, and win a lot of games, and now I get to train with him too. And about his preferred position, he reiterated that it was the coach's decision to decide where he is going to play.
Como já falei para muitas vezes, estou muito feliz, minha família está toda feliz. Poder vestir essa camisa que é muito importante, é um grande clube, se não do maior, e saber que muitos jogadores importantes brasileiros passaram por aqui e fizeram história, então eu espero poder também contribuir com a minha história junto com o clube.
Preguntan a Coutinho sobre seguir con esa estela de grandes jugadores brasileños que ha habido en el club. Neymar, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo. Y Coutinho, evidentemente, espera poder seguir con esas buenas actuaciones de los brasileños.
Sure. Asked about being another one in the long line of great Brazilians to play for Barça, he said he was just very happy to be here and to continue on with that great tradition. He's very aware of that situation.
¿Por qué el Barça?
Esto es fácil porque es el Barça, es el mejor equipo del mundo, tiene los mejores jugadores. Grandes ídolos míos pasaron por acá, grandes ídolos míos están jugando acá en el momento. Entonces, esto fue una decisión fácil.
He was asked about why Barça, and he said, well, Barça's the best team in the world. This is an easy question. A lot of my past idols played here, and a lot of my current idols play here.
Pues se ha acabado esta rueda de prensa oficial de Felipe Coutinho con el Fútbol Club Barcelona. Aplausos en el Auditori 1899. Abrazo entre Jordi Mestre y Felipe Coutinho, el brasileño que ha respondido a todas las preguntas de los medios de comunicación. Y con este acto ya damos por finalizada la presentación oficial de Felipe Coutinho. Lo que no hayáis visto, insistimos, en nuestra página web, nuestro canal de YouTube, nuestros perfiles de redes sociales, podéis revisar todo lo que ha pasado hoy aquí en el Camp Nou.
That's the end of today's press conference presenting and officially unveiling Felipe Coutinho, the newest member of FC Barcelona player. It's been a very interesting couple of hours here with him officially signing his contract, going down to the Camp Nou pitch to have photos taken and juggle the ball in front of over 7,000 fans who turned out to see him presented today at Camp Nou. And then it just culminated with his first press conference. Just a reminder to everybody out there, if you've missed anything or if you want to see any of this again, from what he said to what he did, his juggling the ball, his signing of the contract, we have full galleries and video archives on fcbarcelona.com, our official Facebook page, facebook.com/fcbarcelona, youtube.com/fcbarcelona, and Barça Video. Again, everything that you've seen and more on fcbarcelona.com.
Behind the scenes footage.
Behind the scenes. And that just doesn't end now. There's more coming up the rest of the afternoon. We won't be with you live, but we have a camera crew following him throughout the day, the videos of which will be posted on Barça Video later this evening. We want to thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Toll with Jordi Abel.
Saludos a todo el mundo.
Thank you. Happy New Year and be Barça.